and to console each other.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham, it's time, baby. Low, let's turn out we do. Hey. They said we said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red box. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go.
All right, so we're back. I just had some technical issues. Ham had to bounce and press the wrong buttons, but we're back. We're back. It's as it says in the description. Everything but gaming continued. Anyways, we were talking about video games and how Flintlock is actually not that bad. Apparently,
Correct. It's not bad at all.
Well, that's your opinion. Yeah, that's you guys' opinion.
I mean, you
just
haven't
think
played it, so
no,
you
but
can't
that's
tell me.
But Ty,
Yeah.
like the art that's lost today in making games is you need to make me want to play your game. This is not enough. There's nothing here I look at and say, I want to go play that game. Like it literally. And I can tell you, just tweaking one or two things.
Do you think
would have
wider
made
hips
someone
and a
like
bigger
me.
ass would work it for you?
I'm not saying
It would.
Answer
Listen,
the
I'll
question.
actually support Arshus a little bit here. I think
What?
if they had more
if
budget,
she had wider hips,
well, I mean, yeah. Well,
she
what I'm
had-
saying is, if they had
bigger
more
ass,
budget,
you'd
I
be
think
more
they could have made the
interested.
environments a lot more interesting. Like it's okay so far, but I think they could have made it more. I don't know, like different. Like I get your point with Liza P. Liza P is very distinct. It really stands out. It really catches your attention.
it's
You don't. Yeah,
attractive.
it feels also very polished as well.
Exactly. And like the Koreans are so good at doing that. At taking,
Yeah, they're very stylish.
look, and the one thing that Liza P gets right that a lot of the Koreans get wrong, like for instance, I look at like Stellar Blade's story. I haven't played that game either, but I want to play that game. It's the reason I would want to buy a PlayStation to play it. But I can tell you that the story is going to be garbage. They're not very good at like
No.
Westerners.
The story is good. The story is
You
good.
know-
okay, yeah.
Again,
You know, I
it's not
think if they
level,
if
but
they
it's
had done
good.
the Nintendo route and went for like an artistic approach with this game, I think they
Yes.
could have probably made it a little bit like it would have looked visually better. They went for a realistic route, and I'm not saying it hit, but like it looks like a double A game. Put it that way.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like
The other,
yeah,
game,
but like
the other game that reminds me of is Banishers. Like, and I think this probably looks better than Banishers as well. But Banishers look pretty good. It looked like a kind of God of War kind of game. And listen, I give credit to smaller studios saying, yeah, we want to make our own version, and we want to test that a little bit. Unfortunately, if it doesn't sell well, you're kind of screwed in that aspect. But
yeah, but like I think people forget that the fundamental part of the gaming is a business at the end of the day. And the oldest tricks in the book still work today like they did 50 years ago. Get people into the gate, get them to fall in love to us with something how it looks, and then they'll stick around for the gameplay, and then they'll become fans. But I don't think they're making an effort to get me to play a game like this anymore, because they assume they've got me already, which they don't. That is why I'm trying my best to sort of focus on Eastern games or smaller games from Steam. But anything that's like console AAA, I already know what to expect there, and it's like geared towards
this game double A.
Even like it's double A, but it's still being how can I say, it's still being published by a Western. I believe who's the public. Well, yeah, I suppose it is published indie. I didn't see any big names publishing it.
Yeah, it'll still be a double A game.
Yeah, but like it's still being supported by Xbox. They are probably largely responsible for a lot of the marketing. I didn't even know that it was on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, like I'm looking at this
Forget
muscle,
Ocean.
like it looks so
Ocean's
generic. Like it's
money
not anything special, right?
don't
But
get
Yeah.
supported
they don't
by
have the budget.
Xbox. Are you guys? Are you? Oh my god.
I will say one thing, like I know like this topics, about like attractive characters, like it's so tricky because it's like some of these people who they make it seem like you can't have any like characters who are normal. So I one example was the lady who's playing Joan Dark, for example.
Yeah.
She's based off a real life person, and I saw somebody tweet like, "Oh, they make only using ugly
Yeah.
characters," and I'm thinking like, and she showed like a Japanese fake anime character, and I'm like, so you're saying that like people like you, because she's a woman too, people like you shouldn't get put into this game because you want an anime character to replace you instead? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, this is a real woman, and she's saying no, use an anime character instead. It's such a bizarre take. Like, these people are fucking sorry. These people are weirdos. These people are
But
so.
I
Yeah,
think
there's
like what the
levels.
people want
There's
is
levels.
sorry, Luke, please go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say what people want is they want a Scarlett Johansson versus a who's the lady with the red head? Flip, I forget her. And
Yeah.
again, like
Oh,
yeah.
you know exactly what they're hinting at. Like because and
red hair?
again, who I
Which
blame
one
for
has
that?
red hair? Hold on. Who are we talking about
It's the
right now?
girl from Zero Dark 30. What's her name?
Aloy.
No. Not
Ew.
the from the movie.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Uh-uh. I made
Which
a
one?
movie reference. I was actually talking about the movie Zero Dark 30. What's her name?
Zero Dark 30. Oh, I
Yeah,
think I know what you're
redhead.
talking about.
Like, I mean, she's a great actress. We all know she's a great
Zero
actress, but
Dark
she's not an actress that you
30.
would use to sell a movie of her sex appeal, basically. And again, Taye, this is, mind you, people don't think like this by osmosis. It's how it used to be. It's how we were raised.
Yo,
It is how
this
we were
lady is
indoctrinated.
beautiful. Are you serious? The chick
Which
with.
what's her name?
Oh my
Jessica
god.
Chastain.
You're telling me
Yeah,
this
Jessica
chick is not
Chastain.
hot?
But okay.
Are you insane? Are you blind? Do you have visual? Are
I'm
you
just saying. I'm
visually
just saying.
impaired or
I'm
no,
just
no, no, no,
maybe it's my
no. Let
eyes.
me put it
Maybe
up
it's
on.
my eyes.
Hold on,
Maybe it's
because
my eyes.
this
I
is
don't know.
fully.
I've got something.
This
I
is
don't
crazy.
find Jessica Chastain very
What
attractive. Okay, let's see.
the hell?
Don't
Oh
pick
my.
a.
Oh. You're telling me this woman is not hot?
No, not at all. I don't find this woman attractive at all. Not
I might have a problem. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with.
no, like, but like, she's not unattractive. She's a
Yes,
normal looking person. She's a
yes.
nice
Tell
looking.
me, I'm crazy. Normal.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I need to move to where you live. If this is what the average chick in your neighborhood looks
I
like.
think
Yeah.
I think the argument here is you could have her or you could have Pam from Cyberpunk, and I think people will say use Pam instead. But I think for me, I think we get
Yeah.
we get these attractive characters and we get normal characters. I think that's fine. I think there's a nice blend. I don't know if there's a overuse of these type of, like, even Aloy. Like, I played the game and, like, all those screenshots were just specific angles.
Nah,
Like, if you actually play the
Ocean,
game, like, it's not that bad.
I don't. I'm not seeing
nope.
it, bruv. Like, there's
Ocean, if I was
maybe.
single, the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm married. But if I was single, and you're like, bruh, I got this friend I want to hook you up with, I'd be like, I don't trust you, dog. I
No,
don't
but
trust.
like,
What?
no, but
Oh my
like,
god.
dude, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with her. I'm just saying she doesn't look like a supermodel. Whereas Scarlett Johansson, like, immediately stands out of a room. This woman, you would not be able to pick her out of a room of 30 people. She just looks like another person, like me, like you. We just look like normal people. They don't like, for
Nope.
me, for you to be a
That's not the thing.
celebrity, the look is important. There's a reason people like Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. They like Timothy Chalamet. Yes, they're
Oh, you
great
put this.
actors. They watch what they're good at what they do, but there's an attractive, like, the fact that they are 6 something and very, very, very attractive guys plays a long part in terms of how they become successful. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the reverse of that. It's just preference at the end of the day. But like, for me, if you're marketing something to me, at least play to my preferences. I'm not gonna buy something that I don't just because.
Yeah.
I don't care about representation and all these other things. I just want to buy something that's entertaining, that's going to take me to a fantasy world.
Ooh,
I got you.
yeah. Florence Pugh can get it. God damn. And she's British. Okay.
Florence Pugh is
Okay.
cute. She's adorable. She's definitely adorable.
Fragile is fine. Oh yeah, Fragile.
And she's funny.
Fragile. Yo, did you guys play? Did you guys play Death Stranding?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Death Stranding is a great example.
Right.
All of Kojima's female characters are attractive. All
I
of
knew you were gonna
Kojima's
say
female
that,
characters are attractive.
That's true.
They
It's
all
true. Those
9s and 10s.
Taye.
Yeah.
Sniper Wolf was a block of polygons, just a bunch of blocks. But Kojima was like, no, we're gonna do this right, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freaking
like,
Meryl, remember Meryl? Meryl's a
I
bunch
can't-
of blocks.
I can't think of a single character. Even the boss, like the boss is supposed to be a tough woman. If the boss was been made by a different developer, she would probably look not like. I don't know. I'm actually interested to see what the design would look like. But like even the boss, she's a tough woman. She's a
Some
veteran.
facial beards and everything.
Yeah, but like look at her. Like she's still attractive. She's still even in that last fight scene and that thermo suit that she's wearing that's white, dude. Like
she opens it a bit.
Yeah. Still you respect her. You don't respect her less because she's an attractive.
It wasn't
character.
gratuitous. Like the nakedness was not gratuitous.
No, it's not. It's the other girl that I felt very uncomfortable with. That like she was really being pushed.
Quiet.
This is on.
Which Metal
not
Gear?
not in Metal Gear. Yeah, Quiet. There was also some funny stuff where she's flapping around in the water. I thought that was very Kojima excessive.
No,
I know that's how she gets her powers. Yes, but
that's how she breathes. She breathes through her body.
Yes,
Hello?
yeah. Jeez, like that's pervy. That's freaking pervy. Like that was unnecessary.
Bro, just because you're not creative and you can't come up with original concepts, that's not Kojima's fault, right?
Look, I appreciate Kojima for that. Like, but I wonder if he would still do something like that today, considering how sensitive people have become on how you depict female characters. But I was talking about like in MGS, the one, what is it, Delta or 3? The other woman, I felt uncomfortable, man, like how sexualized she was. The Ava, like the spy. I really felt bad for her. Like I really felt like she was being used a lot of the time. Even like my interactions with her as Snake, I really felt.
Did you finish
she just
game?
made me feel uneasy. Huh?
Did you finish the game?
I did finish the game a couple of times. Yeah.
Did you understand why she was doing what she did?
Yes, of course.
And
even
you still felt uncomfortable.
No, I mean like when I was playing the game.
Like okay, but at the end, it all made sense.
It did, but yeah, it was a bit hectic for me. Like,
dude,
just to show that
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but after I played the whole game, and then especially after she gave a rant about everyone has their own weapons in this 100%. War, and we all have to use our weapons. And she quickly identified at a very young age that she had a very potent weapon. It is what it is, dog. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Rather save my money to help rescue missions than pay for a product that I will not enjoy. The boss could be Queen Latifah. Yes. If the boss was made today in 2024,
probably
she'd be Queen Latifah. And she'd be gay. And she'd be queer and non-binary as well. And she'd, like all the check boxes, bro. Her head would be side shaved. Half of the hair would be purple. The other hair would be pink or something, The whole thing, the whole 9 yards.
Should look like one of the starters from Concord.
All right. Let's leave Concord alone. I knew you had to go there. Common, you killed Basim at least 10 times since the start of the stream. Well, not Basim, but the Basim-looking guy in Flintlock. All right, fine. I'll stop. Kojima made up this long, convoluted answer for Quiet. Yoko Taro said the reason he created 2B like that is he just likes girls. It's
simple. And so do most. Guess what? So do 90% or 80% of the guys in the world.
But Oshas, is the reason why you do things more important than doing them well?
Well, you can do both. That was the trick back then, is that you needed to do both. In
No.
movies, you still need to
Which
do both.
which one takes precedent?
Well, it depends on the product as well. What are you
Ty,
making?
Ty.
What was the question? Sorry,
Oshis doesn't want to answer the question. Oshis doesn't want to answer the question.
which one takes precedence?
Is the reason why you make creative decisions more important than the decisions than is it more important for you to make the decisions based on the right reasons, or is it more important for you to just present a better product? What's more important?
Oof. Right reasons or better product? Better product.
That's all I
Yeah,
wanted, Oshus. Just
yeah,
a
better product.
straightforward, honest answer. And
But
on
like
that point,
I
on
don't think
that
the answer is
point,
that straightforward, though, Luke.
it is straightforward.
Because good
It is
intentions,
straightforward.
and we'll get into Marvel, I'm sure, in this conversation, but good
Dude, I
intentions
don't
can
want to
dig
get
you into a
biblical.
$1 billion hole.
This is exactly, which is why I'm telling you that it doesn't matter the reasons why you make a decision when you're bringing up this
One sec.
Yoko Taro stuff versus Kojima and Quiet. It doesn't matter. Did they both make legendary characters that the fan bases embraced? Yes. So yeah, equivocating about, oh, this guy did it for pure reasons and he just likes women. The other guy came up with a convoluted reason why she had to be half naked. Point is, did you execute?
This man
That's
defending
my
Kojima,
argument.
yeah.
That's
This is a
my
comp for
argument.
Kojima. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care. I don't care. You can call it cope. You can call it cope. For me, it's just confirmation that you don't have an argument against what I'm saying. Because
No,
I'm
I don't.
arguing your
Like I don't have an
you are
opinion
just,
on that.
you are just
So
labeling me. That's all you
yeah,
are doing. I'm
I am.
arguing a specific point.
Yeah.
Right? You are taking the L by not arguing against the point, by coming up
I'll
with
concede.
copes and all these other straw men. Just take the L and
I'll
sit.
concede.
That's all you have to do.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of delivery versus reasons for delivery, Marvel fans react to Robert Downey Jr.'s shocking return as Doctor Doom at San Diego Comic-Con. Robert Downey Jr. was officially unmasked as Dr. Victor Von Doom at Marvel's Comic-Con panel on Saturday, and fans were predictably stunned. Both Dr. Doom. Okay, let's start here at the beginning. Stunned. Who among you expected this to happen? Who saw this and was like, "Oh, okay, I'm not surprised that happened."
I heard the rumors a week earlier, but I didn't think they'd go through with it.
Really?
Mm.
Okay, so you were surprised when you saw that
Yeah,
they
like
did
I
follow
follow
through.
Grace beyond the trailer, so she was talking about it the week before that. So I saw from her one of her live streams, she was going on about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I didn't think she was also saying that it would be it's very unlikely that that's what they're going to do.
And here we are. Sapo says, "Shocking. Are you being serious? It's been rumored for." And that's the thing, Sapo. First, it was rumored, and second, no one said it would be Doctor Von Doom. Those are the two specific points here. No one saw that happening. Tai, are you shocked or surprised by this announcement?
Yeah, I was
Welcome in,
surprised.
beginner.
Yeah, it caught me off guard for sure. I think it makes sense. I can see why Marvel has decided to go down this route. I don't really think it's as important as the Russos and Steven being the writer again. I think that's like your key elements there. I think Robert just kind of adds a bit of icing on the cake because truth be told, I don't like. Is he gonna be a good Doctor Doom? I don't know. I think Robert is synonymous with Iron Man. So is he the best person to actually play this role? I actually don't know. But I think from a fanfare perspective, and I think the idea of you know our universe seeing him, our hero, Iron Man, seeing him as this evil bad guy.
That's a
I think that might
villain.
make things interesting, especially from a Spider-Man point of view as well, if they do use him. So I could see the connections. I can see why it makes sense. But I would pretty much more focus on the Russos coming back. I think that's going to be big for them
Yeah,
and
I
the
agree.
writer.
Mm.
The only issue I kind of
the
had, well, not issue, but I think that because when you think about the Russos, yeah, they had 4 movies. They had Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And the writers, or they had those 4 movies to kind of build into Endgame, whereas now they're coming and they only have 2 movies. So I'm not like they'll make it work, but part of me would have been more comfortable if they had a better build up towards the final Avengers movie.
there's 2 Avengers movies coming now,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
it feels that the build up has been so bad. The build-up has
exactly.
been so terrible from all these movies that it's just like,
Yeah, like
No,
are you guys
if
sure
you
you
ask
can
most,
pull this off?
like when I ask people like what we know, like what made Marvel what it is, like to the casuals and everybody, it's Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Like everybody watched those ones, and then they went back to go check out everyone's storylines, everyone's origin story. Black Panther, the movie itself, isn't as important in the grand scheme of things. Neither was the first Iron Man movie. Neither was even the Captain America movie. They all set a good foundation for what to expect going
Yeah,
forward, but that's about it, really. Endgame was always going to be a great movie. Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Civil War, those are always going to be amazing. Regard, because even I was talking about this with my friend, and she was saying no because Black Panther. I was like no, but like the first time we saw Black Panther was in Winter Soldier, wasn't it?
Civil War.
it
Civil War.
was.
So we did, and everyone was rocking. Everyone was happy
Yeah.
with that fight.
Civil War.
Even
Yeah.
Spider Man as well. We saw him in Civil War too. That was the first time. So the origin stories didn't really
Mm.
matter as much. So I'm looking at like Marvel's
Yeah,
lineup,
you're
and
right. Actually,
I'm thinking I don't need no more stories. I don't need any more origin stories. Like you guys got Shang-Chi 2 coming out. You better put someone else with him. Someone else has to be. Thor has to be there. Someone has to be there. None
yeah.
of these random origin stories. Blade is the only one that kind of makes sense for you to kind of have his own origin story. But even at that, probably throw Jessica Jones in there, throw Echo in there, throw someone in there. Like no more single movies. It's boring now.
But
It sucks.
But Ty, I would argue that that's why DC failed, is because they did exactly that. They just jumped the gun and
Hmm.
decided to do the combo movies, and all of them, to a large extent, failed. In fact, the most successful ones, they were not the combo movies, were actually the solo movies. The two were it was Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Those are the 2 most successful projects in that. And I suppose you can put in the only one combo movie, which was the original Suicide Squad, which was panned critically, won an Oscar though, and also did well box office wise because Will Smith was in that movie. So it's yeah, I don't know. I don't think we should throw away the what did they say the baby with the
The
bathwater.
baby
I
with the
think that we can
bathwater.
still do like some single stories, but I hear what you're saying in terms
Yeah,
of
I get you. I think this is a good point to reference.
You-
My only pushback there would be like, what phase are we in now? We're in phase
Five,
I think it's 5, but nobody cares
5.
anymore
like
It's
because
five.
yeah,
what
we're in phase 5. Like we're
You,
so far
you
in
know what really
now.
messed up the MCU? What really messed? Sorry, let me read this member chat here. The AEC founder Vic has been a member for 9 months. Thank you so much. Says I'm happy that my last Marvel was DNW. I don't know what DNW is. What is DNW? Do you guys know
Deadpool
what
and
DNW
Wolverine.
is?
oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
a
don't
good
know about
send off.
that, bro.
AEC, that's a good
You'll
send
be
off.
back. You will be back. Anyway, what I
You'll be
think
back for sure.
ruined, yeah, what ruined Marvel, in my opinion, was Netflix. Netflix
Huh?
fucked up everything because before Netflix like exploded, Marvel was very content to do one blockbuster movie
Oh,
a year.
mm,
They weren't looking at making TV shows. They weren't looking, they're doing 50,000 things. And that was easy for people like us to keep track of everything that was happening. That's why Endgame was so momentous. Because if you guys remember, Star Wars, remember the first trilogy, the first Star Wars trilogy, I think it took like a decade to make and
yep.
come out. Same thing for the second trilogy. This last trilogy, apparently it was like 5 years or 6 years. Stuff's coming out faster and faster and faster. It's making it less special. It's like making it less momentous. We're getting less time to chew and digest whatever is coming out. There's a reason the World Cup is every 4 years. There's a reason for that. And with all these like content and content and content and content, it's the reason why we don't we're falling out of love with this, or it's less momentous for us. I'm hoping that with the return of the Russos, Ty, this is my hope specifically. My God, Vic is not a fan of Disney. My hope with the return of the Russos is that they're going to be able to sit down with Kevin Feige and be like, bro, all of this needs to stop. Show us all your TV shows, show us all the movies you want to do, and just start axing that shit. Just cut it down, cut all the fat,
Yep.
cut it all down. We need one movie a year, and it needs to be good. It needs to be worth our time. It can't be enough to say, Ty, Osha, look, you guys need to go see this movie, not because it's good, but because the protagonist has the right skin color and the right sexual orientation. Disney used to be about more than that. It used to be about, yo, you need to go see Black Panther. You need to go see Doctor Strange. And Black Widow, they did her dirty. She got a movie after she freaking died. That was messed up. She should have gotten a movie before she died. So I think that's what really messed up the whole thing.
You're right about the Netflix thing, actually. I mean, I guess we could debate whether Disney would have still tried to create TV shows even though Netflix wasn't on top. But yeah, I take your point there. I don't to defend the TV shows a bit. And I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit. Is that I don't even believe a lot of the TV shows were for everybody, and I think people get caught up in that. Like not Jessica Jones, She-Hulk, for example, right? I watched the first 2 episodes, and I knew straight away, I was like, yeah, this is not for me. They're clearly targeting a specific demographic, and that's fine because I'm just gonna watch what I need to watch.
Which is no one. If you look at the Nielsen ratings, they were targeting no one.
Well, some people did. Some people did like it. From what I mean, it wasn't that great, but some people did think it was okay. But even, for example,
how many people
Moonlight, for example, right?
By the time it finished, it was sub 200,000 people watching it. And when it comes to 200,000, a lot of people just take that as those are media subs. A lot of those are media outlets that have to watch, to write articles, to make reviews, etc., etc. That's why was it Batwoman or Batgirl that had to get cancelled after it went sub 300,000.
So to my
really,
point,
who was watching?
And that's exactly was my point with the games, Luke, is that stop making, like, this is the thing. Marvel was bought by Disney, same with Star Wars, to appeal to a male demographic that they did not have. They were seen as the princess company, the family company, but they did not have the male demographic. So you buy these male IPs to convert them into female-centric. Make me understand what the thinking is there. Like why would you want to sell She-Hulk to a female audience when the comic book was sold to a male audience? It makes no sense to me. It's the same thing with this Agatha show coming up. Like that is not a popular character in the comics. Why? Who's gonna watch that? Women. It's been like all the movies that have come out, except for Wonder Woman, the superhero movies. They all skew male, 18 to 35. So who is Disney trying to sell the Marvels to? That's what confuses me.
I think their argument there is,
except for the musical, except for the dancing part, I was okay with the Marvels. Hot take, I guess.
I think this argument there would be that someone like She-Hulk in the past was skewed towards a male audience, and now in 2024, do we have to skew it to a male audience, or can we repurpose it a little bit and turn it into a female audience? Like I get it. Tomb Raider, for example, is skewed towards a male audience too, like the initial games, right? And then they kind of toned it down a little bit, and I'm sure they picked up more female gamers that way because female gamers were like, "Oh wow, boobs in my face," like it kind of felt more natural and normal. I don't like She-Hulk for sure.
Welcome in.
I'm not. I'm not a fan of She-Hulk, but again, I think it's okay. They're clearly going for like representation in a sense. Like, listen, let's be very clear. The only reason why Black Panther exists is because they went for the representation pool,
Yes.
right? So,
100.
like, I feel like we can't tell them like, well, Black Panther is cool that you want to represent, but now you're doing She-Hulk. No, don't do that. Like, no, if
But
you're
let me
gonna
tell
do
you
Black,
why.
you
Let
gotta
me
do
But
tell
everyone
you
but
why
else.
that doesn't work.
yeah,
Let me tell you why that doesn't work.
Go ahead.
It's because when you walk into a market, as much as you want to increase that market, you have to keep the main thing the main thing. You see, like TSWS Gaming, for example. This channel is called TSWS Gaming, which is nerddom. All right, nerd culture. The Monday show, we're now calling it everything but gaming. We're pivoting, right, just a little bit from gaming, but we're still keeping the main thing, which is, I'm talking about what? Comic book movies. We're going to be talking about anime. Do you get it? Like, we're talking about stuff that's adjacent to what we are doing. Black Panther, right, is inclusive. It's inclusion, yes, but it's inclusion of the male audience in comics. So it's not the main thing. And as much as we might like to pretend like we are the main thing is the straight white male. He's the one who's buying the most tickets to movies. He's buying the action figures. He's buying the comics, etc., etc. So but the addition of Black Panther or Sam Wilson or Bishop one day, if God is good to me, right? I hope we get Bishop one day before I die. It's adjacent to the main thing.
I would disagree with Black Panther
When you go
there.
to Barbie, let me use another example. This is
Mhm.
the equivalent of someone walking into the Barbie universe and being like, our entire demographic, or 90% of our demographic, is female. We need to be more inclusive to males. The next Barbie movies, we're going to start centering more on Ken, or we're going to start giving Barbie some guns, and Barbie's now going to start exploding shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's add some
Action Barbie.
testosterone to Barbie. It's like, bro, keep the main thing the
GI
main thing.
Barbie.
I'd be bothered if Barbie was now Action Barbie, or if she was now GI Barbie, because that's not the main thing. That's not
But
what
the
Barbie
problem
is.
is then you end up selling to the same audience over and over again, right? And that
Yeah,
doesn't,
well,
like, you have to branch out. So I'll give you a perfect
Tie,
example.
tie, tie, tie,
You use
tie,
Black
tie,
Panther.
tie. And this goes back to video games. This goes back to the corporatization of video games that I hate. The video game industry was making billions
Mhm.
before it became corporatized. Everyone was rich,
yeah.
everyone was making money. Corporations came in and they were like, oh, you made $1 billion this year. Next year, you need to make $1,000,000,001.
Yeah.
Taye, what's wrong with just making profit? What's wrong with that? Why do you have to
I
make
I don't
more
I don't
profit?
I don't even agree with that at all. No way.
Yeah.
The
What do you mean, no
corporatization
way?
of video games has made video games better.
I don't think it has. It's
Oh,
ruined it.
no, no way. Because put it this way,
It's
yeah,
it's ruined the triple A. It's ruined the triple A.
you don't get
But
your
like,
Star Wars Survivor, you don't get your Baldur's Gate 3, you don't get
yeah,
any of these big AAA games,
You
you don't
do.
get God of
You
War.
do. We
Who's
got
gonna
Baldur's Gate 1 before the corporatization of video
No,
games.
no,
We
no,
got
no, no,
Baldur's
but no,
Gate
no,
2
no.
before the
You don't get
corporatization. We
Larian
got Dungeons
Studios.
and Dragons.
Larian Studios has like 100 to 150 million euros in 6 different countries with over 400 employees. That is not indie. That is not double A. That's a budget from Tencent, right? There's a lot of money into Larian Studios. God of War, for example, Horizon
And they
Zero Dawn.
almost
For
crashed
these, yeah, but these
because they
games
were
wouldn't exist. But
independent.
my point is, these games wouldn't exist if
No, no,
you
no. They would
if
still
you want to
exist.
say
Baldur's Gate will still exist. Corporatization. Baldur's Gate is not a consequence of corporatization.
no, no, no. My point
Not
is,
the,
they're the
you know
ones
what
funding the
what a
games.
consequence of corporatization is? It's annual Call of Duties.
Yeah, but
That is a consequence of corporatization.
yeah, it's a consequence. But the question is, if you remove them, where does the money come from?
so Ty, good point that you raised there.
Triple
What's the
A,
most
double A,
expensive
and
game?
one A.
What's the most expensive game being developed right now? It's been
GTA.
in development
That
for
that
15 years.
GTA.
that game that's
Well,
never come
GTA,
out yet.
don't
What's
know
it
how
called?
much.
No,
GTA is what?
Uh,
Sorry.
we don't know how much is the budget. They've never gone on record to
Let's
release
say
it,
around
but
1
there's a
billion.
that's a
Mhm.
speculative number. But like, there's an actual company that
what?
has released it because
Oh,
of the fact that
Star
they have
Citizen. Star Citizen.
Star Citizen. Okay,
Mhm.
who's funding Star
Yeah,
Citizen though?
The
vaporware.
people.
That's it.
The
And again,
people.
going back to what you're saying though, what Loke was alluding to, he wasn't talking about Baldur's Gate 3. He was talking about the original Baldur's Gate, which was released by BioWare back in 95,
I
98, I
I
think,
I
97.
100% agree.
So
But games
yeah,
those days cost a couple of months to make. I mean, Todd Howard said in his recent interview, like when he was making games, like yeah, it cost a couple of months to make a game, whatever it is, and then you're fine. Now it takes 7 years to make the game. The question is when you have 200 or 300 employees. I just saw a new update from Playground Games, 400 plus employees, and these are programmers, so they're on like 100K. So the question is, am I funding them? You ain't funding them. I like we none of us is funding them. So Microsoft is taking a risk, giving them probably 300 million to make a game, and they expect a return back. Now the question is Fable going to be a good game? If it's a good game, then that's corporatization. If it's a bad game, it's corporatization. It's the exact same thing. I don't think we can say like they're evil. They're
No.
not. It's just two
You
sides
know
of a
what
coin.
corporatization is?
that business
It's
model, in
not
my opinion,
fable.
is not great.
Corporatization, right? For me, when I criticize a culture, I
Mhm.
can I will not criticize one specific instance. I will criticize the average. And if you look at the average of AAA, unless you would disagree with this statement, Ty, unless you disagree with this specific statement, the majority of AAA development is a trash can right now. It's on
Because they're
fire,
afraid to. Well, they're
most
afraid to
of it.
take risk. And
The
again,
games are delayed, they come out unfinished, there's no substance to them. It's all about microtransactions over artistic originality. People consume AAA games the way they consume bubblegum, which for me is a reflection of the quality of whatever it is that they're consuming. Whereas if you go to double A or single A, these indie games, whatever, you see people falling in love with games. There's games that last years and years. The people create forums and they're still talking about the games. And whereas with AAA, 9 out of 10 of them, right? They'll be trending on Twitter when they launch. People are memeing on them and whatever. 3 months later, it's a graveyard. No one cares. No one cares to play it. No one cares to make fun of it. No one cares to make content on it. People are just gone. And the opposite of love is apathy. It's not hate, it's apathy. So for me, what I see is that people aren't staying for AAA,
But you see,
and
but they
that's a
are though,
bad thing.
because I don't see how we get Starfield, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Diablo, Metro Prime Remaster, Lies of P, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken. Like I could go on Diablo 4, even Genshin Impact, Call of Duty, all these
I
games.
was
Like
supposed to pull up. I was supposed to pull up a list of all the AAA games in the last 10
no, no,
years.
no,
Then we
no.
start
But I'm
going
saying
through.
this yet.
Okay, which
But my
one
point
is
is,
this one
how
still
how do
alive?
we?
Is this
Well,
still
hold
a
on. How
thing?
do we? Hold
Is
on.
this
Wait.
still
How do
not
we
a thing?
get? How do we have an amazing, like we all said it ourselves, yeah, 2023 was one of the best years in gaming, right? We all said that, yeah.
It was it
That is
was it
corporatization.
was it was it was awesome. It was
I
That
would
was
awesome.
say
that
I would
that's
say in recent years, yes, in
yeah,
recent
that is
years.
corporatization.
But okay, so Ty, where
But
I
if you look at the games that were banging in 2023, which one of them were AAA by these corporations? Because a lot of 2023
I
bangers
mean,
were indie
like
studios. Just
no,
because,
no, no, wait,
no,
wait.
no.
Final
My
Fantasy
problem,
Rebirth,
my
Final
problem.
Fantasy Remake, Final
Oh my
Fantasy
goodness.
16. These are
All right,
all like public listed
you're making
companies,
me
right?
do this. Okay.
but like I agree, Ty, I
2023
agree with you, but I just feel that
biggest
like the
game
current business model that the
launches.
corporates have is almost self-destructive, in the sense that it always leads to more layoffs. It always leads to more people having unstable jobs. Whereas I feel that the sweet spot, in my opinion, was the period between 1999 and I'll go as far as saying about 2007, 2009. There, the budgets, because that era, the awesome thing about it is that there was room for a whole bunch of type of games. You couldn't tell what was a double A or a triple A game, and most games didn't take more than 2 years to make. And then what they've done now is and Sony is actually largely responsible for this. And I suppose Microsoft started it with Halo. What they've done is that they've used the Hollywood model of make everything more expensive, get the best actors instead of getting the voice actors or the voice talent that you have in the business that are not going to charge you millions or tens of millions. And at the same time, give the talent some surety.
All right.
Let them own
Here we are.
something within the game.
We're now doing a quick retrospective on the year of our Lord 2023, thanks to Taye's insistence here. Let's go. Taye, January 13, One Piece Odyssey. Banger or no?
One Piece Odyssey. Probably no.
A Space for the Unbound, January 19.
No.
Colossal Cave, January 19.
No. Persona 4, yes. Persona 3, yes. Fire Emblem, yes. Forspoken.
Remake.
Yeah. Remake.
Fire
Persona
Emblem.
3, yeah. But good games.
Bro.
Wait. You say remake, but these are good games.
Hits from the past. Bringing hits from the past doesn't count to you towards your future.
No. It's a supporting because you made a claim, and I'm saying that like you don't get these games without corporatization.
Remakes. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go with your remake.
Okay. Wait. Hi-Fi Rush. Do you get that with corporatization or not?
No. I'm opening an Excel sheet. This is getting real by the second. Ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna open
I'm just saying facts, man.
We're gonna open a yay and nay sheet, and Taye, you're gonna pick all of them because I don't want no complaints from your side. Here we go. So the nays: One Piece, Space Unbound, Colossal Cave are nays. So
yeah,
that's
for me.
1, 2, 3. And then Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Remake, Fire Emblem, Engage. Those are definitely bangers. I don't even need to talk to you about that. Next, we have the all-time classic, the masterpiece of all masterpieces, ladies and gentlemen. A protagonist that shall never be forgotten. Forspoken. Definitely in the nay section.
So
next, we have
can I
NBA All-World. Nay. Warlander. Nay. Hi-Fi Rush. Although the studio got shut down, that's a yay. Devolver Tumble Time. Nay.
You don't even know the game.
Bullshit. Oddballers. Okay. Nay. Shoulders of Giants. Nay. Atone Heart of the Elder Tree. Nay. Dead Space. Nay.
No, nay.
Yeah.
Nah, stop.
Okay. I'll give you Dead Space, no problem. Atone, Heart of the Elder Tree. I'm so confident. I'm gonna give you Dead Space, no problem. Atone Heart. Next, GoldenEye 007. You want that too? No problem. Black Backfire Wall. Nay. Next, RoboQuest. Nay. Next, Age of Empires 2. You want that? Huh? You want that?
Yeah,
you can have it. That's yay. Jet the Far Shore. Nay. Undisputed. Nay. Season A Letter to the Future. Nay. Superfuse. Nay. Avatar Generations. Nay.
A lot of these games are
Valiant
small
Hearts.
games.
Nay.
These are the games he's talking about. That is good.
Yeah, these are all the small games that you're talking about, though.
These ain't corporatization like this. Okay, but we can keep going.
Reactor X2.
But look.
Nay. Hold on. Rhythm Sprouts. Nay. Deliver Us Mars. Nay. Exit Man Deluxe. Nay. Fashion Police Squad. Nay. Heirs of the Kings. Nay. Perish. Nay. The Pathless. Nay. Speed. No. The Pathless was good.
You're just lucky that Cozy's not here to dispute on behalf of, because he's probably played all these games you've never heard of.
Yeah,
and they're all AA games.
I've heard of the Pathless. It's a very good game. I played it on PlayStation. It's the chick with the bird thing. Very nice. It's also on Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. Speedway Racing. Nay. Spellforce. Nay. Scorchlands. Nay.
Give me Metroid.
Metroid Prime Remastered. Okay. All right.
Give me Hogwarts
Clash
Legacy as well.
Artifact Chaos. Nay. Hogwarts. Wait, but can we count Hogwarts Legacy? I mean, it wasn't at the Game Awards.
We count that.
Yes,
Jeff Keighley says,
and the
Fine,
irony of
fine.
this, the irony of
What?
this is that Hogwarts Legacy probably covers the expense, the costs of all those games combined. All those games released that year that were smaller, they'll probably fit within the back pocket of like
Did all these
Hogwarts
other
Legacy.
games did all these other games get a cut from Hogwarts Legacy? Nay.
No, but
Blanc.
I'm just saying to you that like they were like they made no
Souls of
money. Like,
Kronos. Nay. Tomb Raider Reloaded. Nay. City Skylines. Okay, City Skylines is a good game. I'll leave that one there. Returnal. That's also a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Last Starship. Last Starship is good. I played a bit of it. Elderand. Nay, never heard of it. I'm waiting on you guys to say that no, you've played one of these games. All I
No,
hear
but you
is
see,
cricket.
you've created a framework
Pinball,
that isn't relevant to what I'm
Pinball
talking
FX.
about.
Pinball FX. Nay.
Yay. What do you
The
mean?
Rhythm Final Bar. Nay. Wait, Pinball, yes?
Yeah, pinball. Yeah,
Okay.
pinball is classic, man.
But let's we find
Pinball
Tetris here.
FX
We're
is
definitely
very
gonna have to,
successful, eh?
Yeah, pinball.
we're definitely gonna have to add Tetris here. The Rhythm Final Bar. Nay.
Tales of
The
Symphonia.
Settlers.
Go ahead.
Nay. Wild Hearts. Nay. Aka. Nay. Atomic Heart. Nay. Like a
Atomic
Dragon
Hearts
Ishin.
was the
Yes.
best-selling game in the first quarter of the year.
Settle down. No, it
Atomic
wasn't.
Hearts is definitely a yeah.
No.
It's a
That's
yeah.
Nope.
a yes,
That's a
100%.
successful game. That
Come
was a super
on.
successful
That's
game.
Atomic
Atomic
Heart.
Heart.
Yes, it was.
You
You're
guys
so
Very
are
confident.
careful.
Give it to me then. What's
Fine.
going on?
Yeah.
Fine. There.
It's just,
There, you can
it's
have
just
it.
another
You can have
one.
it.
Yeah.
Like a
Fine.
dragon, yes.
Like a Dragon Ishin. I already put that one. Seven
Doors,
Doors.
yes.
Nay.
Yes. 7 Doors, yes.
Oh.
What do you mean, nay?
What is Seven Doors? Tell me what Seven Doors
It's a
is.
pretty
Guys
good
I've never
game.
heard of it.
There's like 7 doors that you gotta go into. and fight
Buzz
7
off.
different
You're busy
ones.
trolling me. I'm deleting this. This guy. I almost fell for that shit. All right. Cosmonius High. Definitely nay. Digimon World Next Order.
I heard I heard
Yay.
that those games are good.
I bought it. It's in my backlog. I tried it for like an hour. It's very good, but
Yeah, so why'd you
I
say
don't know what
nay?
else came out this time.
So
No, I
why'd
said
you say
yay
nay?
for Digimon. No,
You
for
said
Digimon,
yay.
I said yay.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Horizon Call of the Mountain, definitely a nay. This was supposed to sell the PSVR 2. Did nothing. Redemption Reapers, nay. Remoteness, nay. Blood Bowl 3, nay. Company of Heroes 3, nay. Rumble Sus, nay. Sons of the Forest, I heard this one is a banger, so it's there. That's a yay. Kerbal Space Program, nay. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, yay. It's
Yes.
fine. Octopath Traveler 2, yes. The Signifier VR, everything VR is a nay. That's all I'm saying.
How? Signify
Scars
is
of-
probably a good game.
Scars Above, nay. Catan Console Edition, nay. Destiny 2 Lightfall. This is for triple
Yes.
gaming. I'll say yay. It's fine. Ritmos on
Okay, we don't need to go
Switch.
through much.
Nay.
We don't need to go through
All
much.
right.
You can
So
sum off
let
your...
me do an auto result here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Equals. All right. So the nays. Oh, sorry. The yays. Right. The fuck was the auto sum? All right. There we go.
We're like 30%.
God damn
40.
it. Hold on.
I mean, listen, we had some good things. We had Wolong Dynasty in March. We had the Outer Worlds as well, but anyway,
But I feel that Taye, he's just made your point because 90% of these games you mentioned here are smaller
Hold on.
double A
I know that's
games. So
that's
I
the-
don't
that's
understand the point that he's making, that all the games that he tried
Hold
to
on.
say no you are
So
actually
the yays are 20.
Mhm.
The nays are 55.
And most of those
If
games
we
are
go back,
all small
let's go
games.
back. Wait, hold on. Let's go back and check the years. All right. Persona 4, Persona 5.
Sega.
Sorry, Persona 3 portable.
Sega.
This is
Yeah,
Sega.
PLC company. Yeah.
Is Sega publicly traded?
Yes,
Oh, look. What kind of question is that?
they are indeed.
Hold on. All right. Sega is publicly traded. Fire Emblem. Who makes Fire Emblem?
Nintendo.
Public PLC.
They're the publisher. It's
Nintendo
Konami
publishes
and Nintendo.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think it's a Konami IP though.
No.
Hold on.
Nintendo owns it.
Hold
Nintendo owns
on.
it.
Nintendo
Oh, no.
publishes Fire Emblem.
Yeah, you're talking about the.
I just learned some news today. Okay, Nintendo owns Fire Emblem. All right, Forspoken's not there. Hi-Fi Rush,
PLC
Bethesda
Xbox.
game. All right,
It's
cool. Dead Space, Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
Okay. GoldenEye is a remake.
Xbox or
Age of
Microsoft.
Empires.
Age of
Xbox.
Empires, Microsoft.
Xbox.
It looks like a lot of EAs are all corporate companies.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And all of nays are all
Hold
these little small, little double A studios that you want to advocate for so much.
Hold on. Breathe.
Metro Prime Remaster,
The
Nintendo,
Pathless
PLC.
Publisher. Hold on. Let me see who publishes the Pathless.
Surprise.
Annapurna Interactive. So there's an indie.
Wait,
Annapurna is big.
Are they publicly traded?
I'll tell you now because they make movies.
Annapurna is not. Annapurna, just because you're big doesn't mean you're publicly traded. From Software is gigantic. It's not publicly traded. Okay.
No,
so
I think Annapurna is it's a
Metroid.
3 guys owner. I don't think they're traded.
Metroid is Nintendo, right? Guys?
Yeah, Metroid is Nintendo, yeah.
Am I guessing correctly?
Yeah.
Metroid is owned by Nintendo. Correct?
Yeah, they own it. They've always owned it.
All right. Hogwarts Legacy, Warner Brothers. But who published Hogwarts Legacy? Not who owns the IP.
No, it's Warner Brothers. They will
It's
take
Warner
that.
Brothers.
No, who published it? I'm not saying who owns it.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers published it.
Yeah.
Okay, it was made by Avalanche Software. Is Avalanche Software
Owned by Warner Brothers.
publicly traded?
No, they're owned by the subsidiary of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and the IP belongs to Warner Brothers, a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
Hold on.
A normal company is not going to be able to fund a risky Hogwarts Legacy game with J.K. Rowling as the head. Like, it's impossible. Like, that's crazy.
With J.K. Rowling as the head? What are you talking about?
No, with the whole controversy with J.K. Rowling. With the controversy with J.K. Rowling, like, an indie studio could not take that risk. You need somebody to kind of bankroll that game.
Oh, my God. Okay, so... Okay, Avalanche was owned by Disney. Now it's owned by Warner Brothers. Okay. So far, I only have the Pathless. All right, hold on. It's not over. Wanted, Blanc, Tomb Raider Reloaded.
This is going to be a big self-owned.
Hold on. City Skylines. Who owns City Skylines?
City Skylines.
Publisher.
Paradox Interactive.
Entertainment. There, I got two. All right.
Oh, wait, Paradox Interactive is traded on the stock exchange. What are you talking about?
What?
The ISIN number is SE00082949553. Like,
God
I mean,
damn it.
What's this guy talking about?
Okay, hold on. It's not over.
Historic self-owned.
Hold on.
Look, you took all this time just to own yourself, bro.
Hey, wait. Who does Returnal? Who
Sony? It's
who made
Sony?
My man.
So Sony published the game,
and they own the company. They bought the company that made Returnal.
You would think that.
No, we don't.
I assume. because I assumed that Sony owned Bloodborne, but that Sony owned what was it, Tencent, because of Bloodborne and Bloodborne's connection to
No.
PlayStation.
Sony. I think Sony owns the IP for Bloodborne, but
I
Sony is
know,
PLC.
but they don't own what is it?
They own Bloodborne.
From Software, but it would be easy to make that leap. Okay, published by Housemark, which was acquired by Sony. God damn it! Okay, hold on. It's not over. The last Starship, Tales of. Okay, Wild Hearts. No. This one doesn't count. Okay, the famous Atomic Hearts. Ugh. Who
was
owns
by
Atomic
a
Hearts?
small. Funny enough, that's
this
probably an
Xbox?
indie.
That's probably a small one, yeah. But
That's
hold on.
probably an indie.
Are you guys
It's
sure
a
it's not
Russian company.
I think this
Nah,
I
wasn't
think
this
it
an
might be a
Xbox
private
thing?
company.
it's a small company, I think. Yeah.
No. Actually, no. Wait, I saw a video on this.
Focus
It's
Entertainment.
Wait, hold on.
Entertainment.
No, for Atomic Heart, Mudfish made it, but there was links to Xbox and a lot of Russian companies. That this guy was trying to get the game canceled for Russia going at Ukraine. And everyone pretty much said like, okay, yes, you have all these Russian oligarchs
Hold
sponsoring the
on,
game.
Ty. This is not a conspiracy theory, all right?
No.
Official
The
documents
links were
say
there.
Focus
Okay.
Entertainment.
Yeah, Focus
Right?
is the
publisher.
publisher.
The ones who are responsible
And the
for
IP, I
majority
think,
of
is
the
theirs.
funding
Yeah,
is Focus
Yeah.
Entertainment.
they
That's
publicly
the
traded
fact.
company.
Sure, they did get money from other people, yes, but
Okay, is
the
Focus
main
Entertainment
money
are they
is
traded?
Focus Entertainment.
Yeah, they publicly traded.
It's a French
Focus.
a French video game developer based in France.
Yeah,
Published, blah blah blah.
It's
Nope,
publicly traded. Okay, there we
publicly
go.
traded. Yeah.
it is definitely publicly traded.
Like a Dragon Sega, publicly traded.
Let me see when.
Listen, Rachel's calling you a fraud in the chat, man.
All right, this is Sega. Yes, 7 Doors. Digimon. Digimon is who?
You know what? I'll give you Digimon. You can have Digimon.
Buzz off.
I ain't even gonna check. I dash you Digimon.
No, hold on. Who's Digimon? Now I want to know. Is it Sega? I think it's Sega. Hold on.
It's made by Bandai Namco. PLC.
Publicly traded.
Yeah, publicly traded.
No.
Horizon Redemption.
Let's scratch that. I give you Digimon. Go ahead. You can have it. I dash it to you.
No. It's Namco. So far, I only have the Pathless. All right. Sons of the Forest. Okay, Sons of the Forest. This one also publicly traded? Let's see. Sons of the Forest. New Knight. I don't think this one's publicly traded. Let me search here real quick.
Can we just give that to you? Look, can we just say you can take that one?
Yeah, you can.
No, I want to actually be sure about this.
Okay, Sons of the
Survival
Forest.
horror game.
Who made it?
No.
Published by New Knight.
No, it's not. New Knight is not publicly traded. All right. So that's two. Two to you guys is 12. Jesus Christ. That is bad. All right. Moving on. Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
Nintendo.
I was on your side here. Look, when
Octopath
this
Traveler.
argument started.
Which one is Octopath Traveler?
That's Square Enix.
Who's the publisher?
PLC.
The one that's publicly traded.
PLC.
God damn it. All right.
You remove these corporate companies like you ain't got no games. You know what you got? You got Flintlock. Those are the games you got.
That's two. I got 2 games. I know I got the Pathless.
And Flintlock. I'll give you Flintlock as well. You can take that game too.
Buzz off with Flintlock. We're talking about specifically January and February 2022. No, it's what? No, it's 2 games. It's the Pathless and another one. I can't find it. Where is it? Last Starship Eternal. God damn it, we're already back at the Pathless. All right, fuck it. All right, so I guess my point is null and void. Corporations for the win.
And the thing is, look,
That's
I was when
disgusting.
if you
No,
had given me an
I can't accept
opportunity,
that.
if you
I
had
can't
given me an
accept that.
opportunity,
That's
I
disgusting.
would have actually
That's
helped you with
nasty.
this argument. But you decided to
That's
fight
nasty.
this from a very different. The angle you chose was horrible. Like
It
because the
was.
problem is not
No,
the problem is not the fact that AA games are not sufficient or are not enough. There's a lot of AA games, but
European gods are their bellies.
the
What,
issue is that
Lawrence? What are you talking about? Sorry,
okay,
guys.
yeah.
Lawrence, what are you talking about? This is because the European gods are their bellies, but we know better. Huh? Go ahead, Oshers. Lawrence, I want a response in the comment section. Go ahead. Go ahead, Oshers.
No. I was just saying that like the
European
issue,
gods.
Ty, is not it's
Mm.
the model that they've chosen. If they followed
Mm.
the Nintendo model, where you have smaller games, you don't need a Spider-Man game that's gonna cost 200 million. You can make 4 games for that amount that will take you about 2 years to make each. And I think we should go back to that model instead of insisting on this model where games are gonna take 5 to 7 years and they're gonna cost 300 million just to make.
So my pushback to that one is quite like I think this actually happened online. And I think Blessing might have said it. And when he said like, oh, he wants games to be smaller, what all that kind of stuff. It's a lie to say these games don't exist. AA games do exist, and indie games do exist. Like for example, I had a list that I wrote to someone once. Monster Hunter Rise is a AA game. Persona 4
Yeah.
Golden AA. Persona 3 same thing. GoldenEye, Age of Empire.
Yeah.
Well, Age of Empire is not so much. Mountain Blade, Atomic Heart, Valheim, Amnesia Dark Bunker, Quake Remake, Lies of P, Persona Tactica, Remnant 2. Like, not every game is actually 300 million bucks. We had what was the game again that didn't do so well from the studio that got closed down? Crap, the one with the guy from the Matrix is go. I can't. Okay, I just have all
I'm
this
from the
list down, but I
Matrix.
can't find them. There's a lot of AA games out there. Even for example, we had Banishers recently, right? That game came out. That game did okay.
Yeah,
And
it
then
did
we also
well.
had Flintlock just that came out now. We had Capcom release the strategic game. We also
Let
had
me just
the
go
other
to my
game. We
Steam.
also had the other game on Game Pass as well. Like, this idea that like everything is AAA games it's a lie. It's a lie. It doesn't make sense. The reason why people think that is because they have the budgets, right? They have the huge advertising, the budgets. But if you go on your Steam right now, you're gonna find a lot of AA games. You're gonna like it's all there. Even on your Game Pass, like it's all there. All these AA games. I don't see how we had Hades, for example, right? We had one game of the year again. It Takes Two. I remember telling my ex this one, and she was like, "Wow, that game won game of the year." I'm like, "Yeah, it won game of the year." It's just a lie to make it seem like the industry is burning in the sense that because it's all these corporate companies. They're not. They're dabbling in AAA games. They're dabbling in live service games. They're dabbling in AA games, and they're dabbling in indie games. Nintendo's a perfect example of this, and even Sony. Like Helldivers 2 is not a game that cost 300 million to make. We all know that. Even Concord doesn't cost that much to make. And listen,
Just
we
like
have
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi. Even what's Sony's new game? Not Little Big Planet. The one with the platformer coming out this year from Sony. Astrobot is another example.
That
So people
controller
might
looks amazing.
So we could look at Sony and say like, oh, you don't care about AAA games. I mean, they brought out Ratchet and Clank. They got out Returnal. They got they even sponsored the cat game. Like, they do these things. It's a lie, and I hate this discussion because everyone who actually engages in it is just lying. they feed into this narrative that I see on Twitter from these random people who want to just complain and cry and cry and cry, blah blah blah. It's nonsense.
Listen,
they owned you on this one.
Although the example that just happened with the list that I was doing or whatever didn't work out in my favor. If we're being honest, then we look at the majority of AAA games. I still stand by that point. It's not great. Studios are shutting down. People are losing their jobs. Whereas with the AA's and whatever, sure, we don't play them, right? But if you look at them, they have sequel after sequel, and they have their little 10,000 people that keep playing their games. Whereas AAA, it's either like the moon, right? Where it's all these bangers that we're just talking about now, or it's shut down, it's all over.
But you see, that's the thing, though. I think the market corrects itself. I think
that's why I defend Flintlock, because I think Flintlock is the type of game that will have like a couple thousand people play it, and it's fine. And then the sequel will have those same 1,000 people, and then maybe another 12, another 50,000 people will jump on after, just like they did with Remnant. Because when Remnant came out, it was just alright. But the people that love Souls games like me, for example, I was like, Remnant day one, that's a banger. But when I used to talk to people about it, they'd be like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, you know. But for me, it was a banger. Then when the second one came out, more people like, oh wow, Remnant is cool, you know.
And I think that
So that's
strategy
why I'm a
works
big
really
fan of
well.
doubling.
But like, when you think about AAA games, like the reason why all these games have this high budgets is because they do well. Like people might tell someone like, hey, lower the scale of these games, but somebody's gonna look at that and say, well, Horizon Forbidden West cost X amount to make. So did God of War. So did Spider-Man 2, and they're the games that bring us the most money in. Like we just follow the market. The reason why AAA games are what they are today is because we buy them. Like Elden Ring is a AAA game, and if you look at Elden Ring is owned by Kotowaka, I believe, and they're traded on the PL. They're traded as well. There's people who put money into these games, and of course they expect their return back.
Tencent is one that's traded.
No,
And
no, no,
they
no.
own
The parents company of
what?
From Software is traded on the stock exchange as well.
Isn't that
They're
Tencent?
no, it's not Tencent. It's called Kodo. Let me just double check that. Their parent company is
Kadokawa Shoten.
Yeah, those guys, and they're traded as well. You don't get Elden Ring without, because think about it. Yeah, how much did Elden Ring cost again, Oshus?
Wow. Okay, I take that back. So Six Joy Hong Kong bought the 16% that were owned by Tencent. Tencent actually doesn't own any part of
million?
From Software. Kadokawa owns 70%, Six Joy Hong Kong 16%, and Sony Interactive Entertainment 14%. PlayStation owns part of From Software.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it cost 200 million to make.
So put it this way, yeah. Let's think about this from a very different angle.
What?
Souls-like games are not mainstream games, right? They sell like probably between 3 to maybe 8 million or whatever it is. For you to get 200 million, you're gonna have to convince somebody. Like, hey, listen, give us all this money and we're gonna sell X amount of whatever it is. You're not gonna be able to go to gamers, because I know you brought up Star Citizen. Star Citizen is a very, very unique situation. If you go to a gamer and you say, hey, can you give us money, and we don't give you a game, you give us money and we'll give you a game in 5 years. Gamers are not natural investors. Like they just won't accept that. So you're gonna have to go to an investor, aka a corporate company, who actually thinks like this, and then they're gonna give you the money. You don't get 200 million to make an Elden Ring because nobody knew it was going to blow up, right? They took a risk, and of course they took the risk, and they got the rewards. They got all this money back. Same thing with Baldur's Gate 3. Divinity Original Sin 2 was probably the biggest selling CRPG game, and that was like maybe 7 million, right? And that was probably with a low price on Steam, and it's been out for a while now. Like, who are you gonna convince to give you nearly like 150 to 200 million to open up 4 studios across Europe to develop a game for 7 years? So you're never gonna get your return to 7 years. You can't convince me. You're not going to convince Ushers. You're not going to convince anybody. The people you're going to convince are shareholders, because that's the way they operate. So when we talk about corporatization in video games, yeah, you wouldn't get any of these games if it wasn't for them. It's impossible.
Well, the only thing is, then my counter argument to you is that you don't need a game that's going to take 7 years and cost 200 million to make. Period. I just don't think
you don't. We don't,
yeah.
But like if you think about, even when we look at the CRPG space, you have Wasteland, you have all there's many of these games coming out, yeah.
And again,
why don't they look like Baldur's Gate 3?
Then again, like that's an artificially created. It's like when you create artificial scarcity, of course, then you have to create a supply for it. And I'll give you an example. Nintendo's business model, they don't make AAA cinematic Sony interactive type games. All their games are smaller scale. Therefore, they can support the Switch just on its own. The Switch is mostly just supported by Nintendo games that they can release like 4 of those games a year. and all of them are bangers, and all of them cost almost nothing to make. So
I
that is my only argument to you, is
But you
that
see, I agree, but then I think if we then turn around and say, okay, well, let's let everybody stop what they're doing and focus on Nintendo systems, then we don't get these good games. You don't get Baldur's Gate 3 then. You don't get Elden Ring. Because everything
you
has
get
to be down.
Metroid, you get Legend of
You get
Zelda.
Metroid, but right now in the current system we have, you get Metroid and you get your Elden Ring and you get your Star Wars and you get your
Can
Zelda.
you
Like you get
imagine
every
Metroid being like the peak of gaming in the year 2024? Like, no offense to Metroid, no offense to Metroid and whoever loves it, right? But can you imagine Metroid being like the absolute top, the creme de la creme of gaming?
Do you know
Come
what?
on, Oshas.
I'll do you one better, yeah. If we focus on
Come
Nintendo,
on.
But then you
if
can't
we
have it both ways.
no,
Then it's either
but
tires
you
right
can. We have it.
or
Oh, okay. Go on. Go on.
that's what I'm saying. Is that like the entire business model is right? What he's saying is correct, because you can't have it both ways. You can't have a situation where people are getting laid off and people are complaining about the conditions of the Chan. And
Mhm.
the problem with that is it comes with these heavy companies. It comes with these heavy staffs,
Oh, you're talking about crunch.
and not just crunch. I'm just talking about just the entire process is one that adds a lot of pressure to the system,
Yeah.
meaning that you're going to have more turnover in the companies, people losing their jobs, less job security, more pressure in terms of delivering, and less
I think
innovation
the
in the
right
sense that
model. I think the right model is what's happening right now. The market is correcting itself.
Yeah.
All
and people are
these,
suffering though.
like
That's the problem.
I think there's too many AAA developers, and they're eliminating themselves.
Yeah. I think
They're
somebody
shooting for the
mentioned this. I
star,
think it was Michael
and
Patcher
only
mentioned this a
like
while ago.
20% of them can hit the target. Only 20% can hit the target. The rest will not hit the target, either because they're not good enough or because there just aren't enough players with enough time to buy all of these games and play all of these games. So when I push back against AAA, I'm not the guy that's saying we shouldn't have corporations in gaming. We shouldn't have uh, corporatization in gaming. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think the corporation should make up at most like 20% of games. They should not make up the majority of games that are being made, because
But
they put
I
so much money into those games, and there aren't enough players, and there aren't enough hours for each one of those players to go out there and buy a Baldur's Gate, and also buy Hogwarts Legacy, and also buy Doom Eternal, and also buy Call of Duty, and also buy FIFA, and also buy Madden, and play all of those games, and also engage in microtransactions. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm just going to buy Hogwarts Legacy and Baldur's Gate, and
But
then
then
Ty is
Game
going to
Pass,
buy Madden and FIFA, and
and then
then
that's where
Bosch is going to
subscription
play
comes in.
Game Pass. And then what's going to happen is more and more of these companies that think that they're part of the 20% are just going to get kneecapped.
and you know what? I think that's perfectly fine. I think the market's gonna
I
correct
agree.
itself as it always does, right? It did it like I think in
I agree.
Usher, do you remember the company that used to own Midway?
Yes. It was Williams. Was it not Williams? They used to do arcades,
I
and
can't
then
really remember.
Williams sold Midway to Warner Brothers.
THQ.
No, I think even
What was it,
before that,
THQ?
there was a company.
No,
THQ
no,
went.
no,
THQ went under. There was another. I think there was
no.
like 5, 7 years ago. We had a lot of publishers a couple of publishers that went under. Like
You mean
this is not.
Midway is in Mortal Kombat Midway?
Yeah, I think that's just a company that
Midway
used to
Games.
publish their
I'm
games.
sure it was Williams.
Okay, I think my point here really is that like this has happened before, and this is gonna keep happening. And listen, this is survival of the fittest. I think sometimes we get obsessed with the HR part of the business, but like we're actually consumers. Like we shouldn't really care too much about all
We
these
shouldn't care.
little, like we shouldn't really care. It's not our
It's
business. Like
heartless. It's heartless. But
no, I wouldn't say it's heartless really, because consumers like I mean like I'll give you an
it's
example. Yeah,
heartless, bro. It's people.
I'll give. Let me think about this one. Like, think about the Halo TV show, right? It was canceled for a reason. And one of my guys, he loves Halo, and he hated the first season, and he refused to watch the second season. I told him straight up, I was like, if you don't watch the second season, it's gonna get canceled, and it's a lot better. He's just like, nah, I don't care. So it's like sometimes we pick and choose when we're heartless, and sometimes we're just like, no, let's be okay this time.
No,
So
but you know what? When it comes to stuff like Halo, and this is something, what's his name, Broken Game said on Twitter. He was like, I hate. Oh no, he's like, I love to see games I don't like fail.
fail.
I love
Yeah,
it, and
yeah.
I can't fight I can't fight the motion. I agree with him because I'm looking at what's happening. Like for example, what we're seeing on the screen. The reason Robert Downey Jr. is coming back is not because they had all of this shit planned and it's all going according to plan. It's because Marvel has been shitting in everyone's plate ever since Endgame. Maybe you liked She-Hulk, maybe whoever liked Shang-Chi or whatever, but the majority of people that loved Marvel right up until Endgame have not enjoyed what's happening. That's what's happened after. There's a reason they're doing this pivot, dude.
Hmm.
So for me, I 100% agree with Broken Games and with this homie of yours who was like, I'm done watching Halo. I watched the first season of Halo. Everyone knows how I used to watch it. I would watch only the scenes that had Master Chief and fast forward anything that didn't have Master Chief. That's how I used to watch the first season of Halo. When I started watching the second season of Halo, they made it impossible to watch an actually good scene of Master Chief. Every scene he was in, it was bad. There was nothing inspiring about him. He was moping around. It was like, dude, I'm not here for the emotional chief. I'm here for Master Chief. All right. I
Mhm.
know you guys went to drama school and you guys want to evolve the character or whatever, but dude, this ain't it. You want to write Shakespeare? Do you want to write a romantic comedy? Go somewhere else and write a romantic comedy. This is Halo.
But that goes
We
back to what
have
I said.
again back to Osh's main point, and also to the little soliloquy of mine when I said we have to keep the main thing the main thing. With Halo, they deviated from what was the main thing. They stopped focusing, or they didn't even focus on what people were there for. The next time, imagine we watch Avengers Doomsday, and instead of big ass explosions, death, destruction, heroic acts, and all this, we're seeing melodramatic rubbish. We're seeing stuff that you would normally or see on like a romantic movie or uh, a periodic timepiece or whatever. One of these World War II movies where people are just crying all over the place and emotional and traumatized. Bro, that's not why we're here. There's a reason we go and see Deadpool. There's a reason when the next Batman movie gets announced, we know we're gonna probably have to go watch the movie with flashlights on because it's a Batman movie. It's gonna be pretty dark. You know what I mean? Just keep the main thing the main thing. Let me get this super chat real quick. Thank you so much. The AEC founder Vic says you want that, relax Diddy. I don't even know what you were on here, Vic. I
Yes.
I, I don't like I'm trying to reach out to you, right, to understand what you're saying, but I'm lost. I'm completely lost.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Message again. But look, I think like everything you said there, I agree with, and that's what I mean. Like the market writes itself back. But the thing is, do you feel sorry about what happened with with Marvel right
with
now?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Okay. So great.
Hell
You don't feel sorry.
no. I
So
used
why
to
do you?
love watching the Marvel
So
movies,
my,
bro.
my question is, when a game like Immortals of AVM doesn't do well, a game that nobody bought, or a game like Saints Row, why do you feel like? Why would you feel bad? When
Uh
studios open up and close down, and these are games that you have no interest in, you
I
don't care
didn't
about
feel
them.
bad.
Well, yeah. So that's my
Guy,
point. So when you say
I didn't feel bad
hey,
about saying I kind
yeah,
of
but
celebrated if I'm being honest. I laugh my
Yes,
ass off.
so my point is when you say like corporate is it's bad because studios are closing. It's like, yeah, but why do you care? These games suck. Doesn't matter if they're
Because
closing down.
because in that instance with Saints Row,
Mm-hmm.
I got to laugh my ass off. It's an IP that I kind of like, but I wasn't really into it. But the reason I care is because today it's because of empathy, bro. It's really empathy.
Yeah,
Today
but there's no
they're
empathy for
ruining. Let me
Marvel though.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Mhm.
No, there is empathy for Marvel, and empathy is displayed with open disgust and disdain for what they're doing. And this is something I've even talked to Oshus about. The reason I don't like Marvel, race and sex swapping these characters that are straight white male is because when they're done with the straight white males, do you know who's next? Do you know who's next, Taye?
Go
Can
ahead.
you guess who is next?
People that look like you.
It's Blade. It's Bishop. That's who's next. So
It's
when they're
Wakanda
done
forever.
ruining, exactly, it's Wakanda forever. When they're done ruining games that you don't care about, like Saints Row, like Dragon Age, do you know who's next, Ty? It's your favorite franchise they're coming for. That's
Okay.
why we have to unite and defend the franchises that we are not attached to, the characters that we are not. Bro, I don't care about Captain America. I don't care. But I'm bothered that today he's Sam Wilson because I know tomorrow. And Oshus, remember last year, the year before last year, I was telling him about Blade. When I was defending all of these white characters becoming black. Remember, I told him, I was like, dude, we are next after this. It was almost as if I was in the studios in Hollywood, and then they leaked that Blade, the movie, right, one of the scripts that
Yeah.
got canceled, Blade was going to end up being Bladette by the end of the movie.
Yep.
That's
Why
what
do you
They
think?
did that. They did that with Black
And I
Panther. I mean,
care.
like
I care that Blade is a black man. I care about
yeah.
that. For me,
Same
Okay,
with
that
why do you think
matters.
Marvel
You can call
responded
me
this way?
racist. You can call me racist. You can call me
No,
sexist.
no, no, no,
But
no.
Blade is a straight black man
Well, okay, why do you think Marvel responded this way? Like, what made them change their minds?
because they're not idiots. People aren't
No,
going to watch
well,
movies.
it's
People
money.
aren't
they're
It's
not
watching
money.
making
shows.
money. It's money.
It's
Yeah.
money, right? We're making money.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question then is like, okay, so they responded because they were making money, and that's what these corporations care about, money. So when a studio closes down, they close down because they don't have money, which means people weren't interested. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, where is
Just
I don't get this sympathy, empathy situation because
no,
they're
because the
closing down
damage
for a
is
reason.
already Taye, the damage is already done. You are looking at big picture. Oh, Saints Row closed, so now this is a sign of the market correcting itself, bro. What about the fans of Saints Row?
There wasn't enough. It didn't justify the budget.
It's
And,
not
That's all
and,
it
and
because
my
they
is.
weren't
argument,
enough. It's not because they weren't enough. You go back and check. There's tons of people that love Saints Row. There's a reason they were on the fourth one. There's a reason. It's because the Saints Row that got released was trash. It was an insult to everything that Saints Row was. That's why no one bought it. Not because there's no fans. Don't lie to yourself, dude.
Yeah,
There's
no,
a lot
but
of people that love
yeah,
Saints Row.
yeah, it bombed. They give the developers the free reign to make the game they wanted, and they bombed. And there's consequences to
And they
failure,
bombed.
so they're gone. For example, I'll ask you, Ushers, if Kepler Studios, just
Yeah.
vanished now. These are the guys who made Flintlock. I mean, you probably wouldn't care because you weren't gonna play the game. The game wasn't
I
attracted
wouldn't care.
attracted to you. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You would.
I wouldn't care.
That's my point. If you don't, if you take someone's money and you don't give them a return, there are consequences to that.
Yes.
So the
true.
way
True.
the industry right now is, for me, it's perfect. I think we have great AAA games, great AA games, great live service games, great indie games. Like in what time in an industry could you go on your mobile phone and play Diablo Immortal, get 30 hours of gameplay
This
before you
guy
start
is
having to
spilling it.
play? before you have to start paying money. Like, how many people can play Genshin Impact for free, Fortnite for free, Warzone for free? This is when I was a kid, this was unheard of. You don't get these games for free.
It was
These are
insane.
AAA budget
The
games.
free
You don't
games.
get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the free games,
With
but how
campaigns
much
and
is it costing?
everything.
Yeah, the budget is crazy for these games. What's the one? The Hoyoverse game, the one with the RPG one. Crap. I mean, you
MiHoYo?
guys don't get.
Loke?
Is it not MiHoYo?
No, there's an
Is
RPG
Ham
one
back?
After Genshin.
Looks like Ham's back. All right. Jeremy Roger Wright just became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Jeremy Roger Wright. Appreciate your support.
That's
Welcome
my
to
brother right there.
TSWS.
Thanks
Oh,
for the
is he?
support.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank
real
you for
life brother.
supporting the channel. We are a small channel, but we're real. I hope you
Usually,
don't hate my hot takes. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying Gogo's comment is gaming is good today. We are spot 100%.
Yeah, we all agree.
100. There's so many good games out there.
Mm.
I think we had Alan Wake 2 go up against Baldur's Gate 3, and then what was it Tears of the Kingdom?
Alan Walk 2. Say it correctly. Alan Walk 2. Come on.
Walk 2, Wake 2, whichever you want to call it.
You mispronounced
and in the same year, I think we had Sea of Stars came out. That's an indie RPG like game.
Oh yeah.
Then we had Starfield as well. I mean, there's so many good quality games coming out. I don't know why people are just crying.
Redfall.
And I still remember people talking about Starfield. Starfield would be dead. No one cares about Starfield. Starfield is still banging, in my opinion. It's still banging. It's true, Rachie. There's many incompetent AAA studios, but as we said before, they're cleaning themselves out. Anyways, so this is what happened. Okay, so we didn't get to talk about whether we enjoy this announcement or not. Tai, do you think this is a good move or not by Marvel?
I think it's a great move,
Bringing in
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
But I think I said earlier that the Russo brothers are that's the main important thing. The writer Steven, that's great as well. But Robert Downey Jr., yeah, I think there's you can play with it, like I mentioned, with Spider-Man, with everybody looking at him being shocked and surprised. It's a good move. I just don't know if Robert Downey Jr. maybe is the best Doctor Doom. Could be. I mean, it's an actor, so he could, warm his way to it. But yeah, overall, it's a good move for Marvel, and I think it's a sign of course correction.
Sablo is not feeling it. Says shouldn't be Doctor Doom. Ushers, you think it's a good move?
So I think they're trying to sort of hit the reset button on this whole thing. And if I look at how well the Deadpool Wolverine situation worked out, where of course we know that Logan happened, but we need that character.
Yes, Reggie. Yes. I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead.
So I was saying, if that worked and it worked so well, this makes 100% sense. Unfortunately, I would have loved for Phase 4 for them to sort of do it right, but they didn't. So they have to pull the emergency plug and sort of go get exactly what works and what's worked before, which is the Russo brothers, the team of writers. I know it's Steven and somebody else. I don't know if he's coming back, but I want those guys back. And I think getting some core original Avengers in there, because there's nothing else to show for it, from Phase 4, is going to go a long way as well. So this is the best solution to save Marvel. There's nothing else they can do at this point in time.
I will say this. I think you could just get the Russo brothers, and you could also get the writer, and you could probably have a good product. I don't think Robert is needed. I think he brings in fans, but I don't know if he's needed. I think because the problem was always the writing and the direction. And as soon as you address that, then I think you fix pretty much 95% of the problems that Marvel has.
But the problem is, you need to get the old fans back, because those are the ones that you've lost. Because now, even if you just the thing is, a lot of people don't even know the Russos because they're literally behind the scenes most of the time. And
Really?
very few inside. Well, I'm just saying, the typical people that are familiar with the MCU or MCU hardcore fans, they're not necessarily comic book fans or movie fans. They just like the product. So if you have RDJ, who's the face of the product, to me that makes same with Wolverine. Like, nobody knows what Hugh Jackman's creative team is, but everybody knows Hugh Jackman. They know the Wolverine character, and that's what works. That's what's going to put bums into seats in the cinema, and that's what you want right now. You want to sort of give people that comfort, familiarity that made them love the MCU, not this unfamiliar new thing that has failed for almost the last 5 years. So I think that's what they're doing, is just go back to that comfort food, give people what they want to see, what they've been clamoring for.
I agree. That's what they're
Exactly.
doing. I would still say that if we make the argument that it's the problem has always been the writing, right? So if you fix the writing and you fix the direction, then the question is, well, how do you bring them in? As soon as people see that name Avengers, they're coming back, right? And then in the trailer, not only that, yeah, I mean, you don't
No,
have to
no, no,
show.
no, 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 no. Dude, remember the Avengers was meant to be Captain Marvel and a whole bunch of just only the women Avengers. That was the plan,
Captain
bro.
Marvel, She-Hulk.
That
No, no,
was
no,
the
no, no.
plan.
But if you ask people, what
It's
is your
not
last
enough to
memory
just
of
put
the
up the sign
Avengers?
that says the Avengers, and then
No,
people
no, no,
want to
but
show up. That's not enough.
no, but if you ask people what is your last memory of the Avengers, it is the original characters. Nobody looks like Captain Marvel and these people and think of Avengers. I think like
Exactly.
they don't
No,
like
but
her,
that was
right?
the plan.
It was the plan,
Tayo,
but
that was the plan.
these people
So,
don't know the plan. Like casual people don't know the plan. They don't know Marvel's plan at all. So if you show Avengers right on the screen, right, and then it's a trailer, right? So now in the trailer you're showing the X-Men from the Fox universe. You're showing Thor. You're showing Star-Lord. Everyone gets that vibe, like, oh, we're doing this again. You don't even need Robert Downey Jr. for
yeah.
that. As long as you're showing those main core characters, and
Now
then
imagine.
you show Shuri as well. There you go. Like it's
Now,
you don't need Robert really.
now imagine you go with the original plan. You put up the sign for Avengers, and then you see the three Marvels, plus
Nah.
Shuri, plus Ironheart as well.
And Shang-Chi
Let's
and
go. Shang-Chi
who else?
and the
Oh, and the
female
Eternals and the Eternals.
the female Hawkeye. Oh yeah, that's really gonna get people excited, bro.
Do you know
Like
what? I
people are
wouldn't even be
gonna,
surprised if when you see that Marvel trailer, like expect to see Hugh Jackman as well at some point. Like he's
Yes,
doing more,
absolutely.
and I think
for
that's even
real.
enough to get people to come through. Yeah, for sure.
You think Hugh
I
Jackman's
think
gonna be?
Yeah,
no. I
I'm
don't. I'm not
almost
saying he is, but like he is. Like we all know he's gonna be there. Like I
I'm
expect
almost sure now.
Storm. I expect X-Men to be there. I expect
Oh
all
my
the
god! If they
cameos
do
to make an
Storm,
appearance. Storm is gonna
I
be
could
there.
die.
Cyclops is gonna
If
show
they
up
give her
there as
that
well.
white, if they give her the white uniform from the comics,
Hmm.
Jesus, I could die.
I just want
Uh,
them. I hope they make a good, or they choose a good casting, because I worry that they'll go for, yeah, they'll
My issue is the build up. I think when we think about Avengers, the reason why we like them so much is because there were so many movies for us to get attached to these characters, and that's why I said with the
mm,
Russos, they only have 2 movies to do this. So how do you fit all these potential cameos and make it have a feeling or make us have a connection to them in 2 movies? I don't know if that's possible. I think they might need
it's
to be
gonna be
quite
rough.
selective. Like,
it's
like
It's
hard.
gonna be rough.
But I look at what they did with the 3 movies that sort of interconnected, which was Civil War. That was their trilogy: Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. They literally
would you not put Winter Soldier in that as well?
no, because Winter Soldier doesn't
No,
really
no, no.
directly tie
Winter Soldier
into.
was definitely just Captain America.
It
No,
was really focused on just Captain's story. Yeah, I'm talking about
true,
like
but
now
Yeah.
them
but
doing the Marvel. Yeah,
but Winter had Captain America, it had Nick Fury, it had Scarlet not Scarlet, it had Black Widow, it had
yeah.
Hawkeye,
It had Shield.
and yeah, like it
It
had
had
like
Shield.
it had some of the core
Yeah.
elements, right? So it was more
Not really.
Avengers light.
It had Shield.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah,
mostly like.
but
Can I
Shield
give
is
you an example of
Avengers.
that?
Go
Can I
ahead.
give you an example of that? Like
Yeah,
Guardians of the
I guess
Galaxy, they're part of the
you could make
Avengers,
it.
but
Yeah,
they are contained in their own little corner or pocket of the Avengers universe.
Yeah,
So,
but we see
but
them
they're a
as an
team.
entity.
Yes, but like it's the same thing with like with the Team Cap. Team Cap is sort of like a mini entity, but I would not connect it to the bigger world where like you're now bringing in Thor. It's all grounded stuff. It's not like it's the same
Mhm.
with Guardians. It's all space stuff.
espionage
That
and
was
stuff.
all yeah. It's very espionage. It's very much like Brave New World what they're doing.
Mhm.
In fact, I think bringing
Brave
in
New was
Hulk is
looking
going
good.
to. Yeah,
Guys,
it does.
Brave
It
New
looks
World
very good.
looking good. You guys saw that
It
trailer,
does.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
That
good.
looked good.
yeah,
It
no,
looks good.
definitely.
I know
I just
people were ragging on it, talking about he's not the real Captain America. For me, let's talk about this. But first, let me just answer Gogo Poe's question here. Gogo Poe, he will be playing Dr. Victor Von Doom, and most of it has to do with the the ultimate universe, as you said here at the bottom.
yeah.
That's the idea. But yeah, Captain America is Sam Wilson Captain America?
I don't want to get into
Yes.
this one. I pass on this question.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to say something controversial, but not really. So I don't believe that Sam Wilson is Captain America. I don't believe that.
How
But
dare
at the
you?
same time, I can't wait to watch Captain America: Brave New World.
I think you know what I think. Look, I think they squandered
It-
the chance to make people
two
believe that he
things
was
can be
Captain
true.
America. They could have
What
they
would
could
have
have
made
used
you
the
believe that
series.
he's Captain America?
In
Cautious.
the series, if they like if they had built him up like they did Chris Evans' Cap in the series,
You have to do better, Senator.
fuck yes, I hated that.
What
Like,
the fuck was
sorry
that,
to
bro?
say, my man, like they made him like they underpowered him.
That
He was
TV
beaten
show.
by a little
That
redhead
TV show
girl.
is embarrassing.
They like why didn't they just give him like serum? What do I call it? Super soldier
Super
serum.
serum.
I mean, he has to fly. I mean, he does more
No,
intensive stuff than Cap.
he doesn't need super soldier serum because he already has the black skin. He doesn't need anything to compensate.
But remember
The
though,
AEC, thank you
I think
so
you guys are forgetting one thing though. I think this is where
he's
I think
gonna
this
do
is
it.
quite genius of Marvel.
Uh,
They acknowledge that he doesn't want to be Captain America, and he knows that this is a crazy shoe to fill in. And I think that is key right there. They didn't just hand it to him, and he was reluctant to take it. Now, in
no,
the end, he
that's not
took it.
how
But
it
remember,
works.
the whole TV show was him as Hawkeye, right? No, not
Yeah,
Hawkeye. Sorry,
Falcon.
as
You don't
Falcon.
want to be
So
Captain
now the movie
America.
is gonna be him as Captain America, and I'm pretty sure in that movie itself, there's gonna be references to him not being the real Captain America, and I think that's fine as long as you're honest with yourself in a movie. That makes sense. So I think,
Yeah,
Ushers, you said a while ago that the reason why you don't like the idea of like black elves is because where do they come from? Like who are they?
Yeah,
Like you can't just
yeah.
you need to give me the lore. We have the lore who Falcon is
Yes,
and
absolutely. I
his story
agree.
with the whole Captain America thing. And I think once you tell that to the audience, no one can say, oh, they're trying to force it. Like they're not trying to force it. The dude's like, yeah,
No,
listen,
you
I don't
don't.
want to be this, but someone got to take it up, and it's gonna be me.
But I just
I
wish
think
they
he's
hadn't
dead.
buried him. I just wish they hadn't buried him as a character because you can always make a character charismatic, likable, and also appeal to your demographic. But the way that they did it in like they turned him into an activist instead of making him a man of action,
Making
which
him a
is what
hero.
we a
Just make
hero
him a
exactly.
hero. That's all
Oh,
you
by the
had to
way,
do.
interesting fact about Brave New World. I believe the director it's a Nigerian director, and I'm actually looking for it. He's done some other stuff, but I'm really
Mhm.
curious to see what he does here because I
Woke,
don't recognize anything that he's done. So
Oh,
I'm
woke.
come
really,
on.
really
Buzz off of that woke rubbish.
I mean,
no, but
that's
I
what
mean,
you
like,
guys.
no.
No one,
But
That's what
I'm
everyone was
really,
saying.
no one's gonna make me not
I
wanna
want him
watch
to
that
do well.
movie.
I want this to work. I really want that movie to work.
I mean, but like
Um,
according to some people out there, the only reason why he got the job is because
oh,
Oh, the Nigerian guy.
yeah.
Ah,
oh, no, look,
whatever.
if we will, the work
Mhm.
will prove itself. The work will speak for
Yeah,
itself. That's all I'm going to
yeah.
say is that let's see the final
Remember
product.
Ryan Coogler?
And
If he,
if it sucks, would it be because of
Everyone
his
thought.
skin color?
I'll leave
Remember
you to
Ryan Coogler
speculate.
made that boxing thing with Brian B. Jordan, and then when you were going to
Creed.
make Black Panther, people were like, he just got lucky with Creed or whatever, and then he made Black Panther, and it's just because it was the first black super. Shut the fuck up, all right?
Like that, like
Just
Black
show us
Panther
the
was a
results.
phenomenon.
Just
Yeah,
show us the results. Just show us the results. If Black Panther was shit, no one's gonna watch it. I don't care how
exactly.
black Chadwick Boseman was. All right,
And look at the drop off to Wakanda Forever. Like again, showing
exactly.
that
Exactly.
you have to keep things.
People were not
Yeah,
interested in Wakanda
yeah.
Forever,
Especially
but you still have
you
black
give us a
characters.
black male hero, you give us a black male hero, and then you take him away in the second movie. What is that? Like we haven't even gotten like two, three, like a proper trilogy with this guy. Immediately you take him away and you replace him with his sister. and just women, mind you. The only other two guys there was Winston Duke and the CIA guy. And I'm like, okay, so what happens to, okay, so screw all the male, if we're talking about representation, all the black males that actually were looking forward to having a hero in how many years that's going to be actually the center of the universe or that specific world. So for me, this whole thing of theirs has been a mess, man. Like, it's been a disaster.
They should have made Doctor Doom a woman, and they should have made it gay. Anyways, the AC founder Vic, thank you so much for the super chat. RDJ being Doctor Doom is an easy thing. He played a snobby genius rich man that wears a robot suit. I could write this, and it was in the comics. Yeah, it was in the comics. Thanks for that super chat. Let's just be happy it will not be Doomette. I think Doomette would be good. You know what? Make every character a woman. And if anyone doesn't like it, they're sexist and racist if the woman happens to be black. And if the woman happens to be queer as well, they're also like whatever ist that you can find.
And
I
then
have a
if the
list of
project fails,
I have a list of his
if
movies,
what?
by the way.
and if the movies
Of
or the
who?
projects fail,
If the project fails, the male gaze is terrible. The men are misogynists, men are racist, men are all this other stuff. I saw someone make a joke. They were like, no one's going to see the Marvels because men can't see women leading. And then a lady asked, okay, why is no one asking why the women didn't go and see the Marvel?
exactly.
I died. I wanted to find a hole and just bury myself. Anyways.
I have his list of movies, by the way.
Okay.
Julius,
the
the guy who's
director.
directing.
What is movies?
The first one, The Girl Is in Trouble, that has a Rotten Tomatoes 63% approval rating. The next one is The Cloverfield.
Wait, by fans or by critics?
Oh, I didn't get into that one. But
me
on
check.
Metacritic, it's
Forget
55
the
out of 100.
critics.
On Metacritic, it's 55
Forget
out of
the critics,
100.
about the fans.
Oh,
Is
the
that
fans.
the fans?
Oh, I don't have the fans now.
Dude,
No. On
critics
Metacritic, yeah. Do
we
they
also
show?
the documentary. We also the documentary explaining how critic reviews work. Come on, guys. It was 2012.
I don't really trust I mean, at least on Metacritic, I don't trust fans reviews. It's garbage.
Well, all I know is that you know what? Fans actually give a shit. Critics are paid. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, I think fans are very childish and silly. I think
I want the childish. I want the angry guy. I want the guy that has skin in the game. All right. I don't want the guy that wants to pay rent. I don't want the guy that wants to pay rent.
But if you think about it though, like a game comes out and then as soon as you don't like for example, like I wouldn't be surprised if Assassin's Creed Red gets review bombed because of the situation. These are not
Not Red, Shadow.
Sorry. These are
because
not
there's
reviews
a black
based on the
guy.
quality
Get it?
of,
It's called
Yeah, but
Shadow because there's a black guy.
I didn't even think about that. But these are not reviews you take seriously. Like Metacritic user scores are terrible. Like I would never use that to gauge a game's because everyone just says 10 and everyone just says 0. Like it's so silly. But yeah, it seems like his best film
is
the
opinion of the guy that's not trying to make rent.
Yeah, but I mean, as we've seen, the Metacritic score of and I mean the critics tends to align with what the game sales would be, whereas the fans ones don't really because it's erratic. It's all over the place.
Again, if I have to pick a side, dude, I'm picking the guys that have feelings and emotions in this whole thing. I'm not picking the guy or the guys that allegedly are trying to just make rent. That's not who I'm picking.
Fair enough.
So anyway, let's go to the other movie that he made.
No.
He made one called I think this is his best one, Lucy.
No.
Your mic is on.
No, I know.
That's the highest rated one. Is that Lucy? Is it Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy is the highest rated one. I think that one is at I had it here. 90% out of 164 critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Has he made
77
any action
audience
movies?
score. No.
I think the Cloverfield Paradox is one he made, but
Oh.
that one did really bad.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was on Netflix. I remember that.
Yeah, he did that. So
Ooh.
that's probably a bad sign.
And it's more like a horror than anything else.
Yeah. I think Loke or Oshishima brought this up, but I would say I would hope that the Russo guys, they're not just working on their own movies. I think I would like to to think that like they're going to this other director saying like, yeah, listen, this is our plan, and it needs to fit in with what the hell we want to do. You can't be doing
I
whatever
want to
this
mention
random
that.
story.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Because that
and
devalues the whole universe.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason Endgame was awesome is because this team of writers, like the Russos, Feige, and all these
Steven.
guys, they sat down together and they agreed on everything, even if they weren't specifically directing a movie. Everything had to make sense because it was going to add up to the final piece.
And I don't know if it was Ushers or Luke that said this 2 weeks ago. So it was about Star Wars Acolyte. And even though I think it's an okay TV show, you said something like, if I watch the first movies and I watch this one, there's no sync. And I remember thinking, yeah, that is actually very true. They're so different. Yeah.
I think
I don't know if I considered that point last time, but like, yeah, you're very right about that. Because I'm watching and I'm like, no, they are so different. This could have been a whole new franchise, and it would
they
have
could have. And again, like I'm saying tell those stories for that market, but then don't use a different an IP that's already associated with something.
That's already
Create a
established.
new IP. Yeah, establish something for that audience.
Exactly. It goes back to the whole Halo thing, guys. You want to make a movie about a broken soldier who is emotional and wants to have sex with a woman that is working for aliens. Bro, go and find yourself another corner. Don't come to Halo. Right? Go and find something. Go make something. Halo is not about that.
Do you think that God of War shouldn't have done the reboot then? They should have created a whole new IP instead?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right.
No, I think God of War evolved, which is fine. I just wish David Jaffe had gotten the chance to do the evolution himself. If you remember Metal Gear, Solid Snake evolved as a character from his first character, right? From the first time he showed up in Shadow Moses to his last appearance in Metal Gear Solid 4 as an old man. He was not the same guy. A lot of his philosophies on life, even the way he engaged in war, changed. The same way God of War also changed. But I think David Jaffe wouldn't have nerfed him the way he got nerfed. I think the new God of War games are super nerfed. Amity, welcome back.
Yes.
Tell us how you feel about Robert Downey Jr. being Dr. Doom now.
Big fat thumbs down.
Is that what you're just going? No.
I give it a big fat thumbs down. In the sense of, oh man, let's make sure that we protect our profits and continue to be able to make money off of the next movies that we come out with, and let's use a face that people can get along with. Sure, it works in that sense, but in the sense of just like Disney Disney has it figured out. Like you don't got me. You don't got me convinced that you guys know what you're doing, because it seems like you're kind of reaching back into your like safety chest to grab out whatever you feel is comfortable for this situation, and actually instead of actually being innovative in thinking outside the box. I just thought that this move was extremely lazy by having Robert Downey Jr. be the face of Dr. Doom. I mean, to me, it's like having Henry Cavill be Darkseid. It's like, come on, like why are we doing this? Like I understand you can use the whole like MCU, like multiverse, all that other stuff, but at what point is that gonna kind of be played out? Where it's like, oh, I mean, like you're already seeing people say, oh yeah, it's probably a multiverse thing, and it's like it's so easy to see coming that it's like, sure, if you make a good movie is a good movie at the end of the day, right? But if you ask me, hey man, how creative is this idea for the movie? I'm not that excited for it. Even if it's a great movie. It's just kind of like, eh. Like it feels like you just painted yourself inside of another box. Another box that you
But
have to
did
figure
you
out, how
did you
am I
consider the
gonna,
stories?
what's that?
Did you consider like the possibilities of him joining could lead to actually more interesting stories?
I feel like the possibility of using a completely new character would lead to way more stories.
I was telling the guys this earlier, like for example, we know Robert Downey Jr. in our universe as obviously
He's
Iron
old
Man.
as hell. Like, what happens when Robert Downey can't be around anymore? Like, where's the transition
AI.
from his character?
AI.
Okay, that's great. I mean,
Well,
that's cool.
Well, I think you just
sure.
kill off Doom then, at some point.
I don't know. Just to me, it just doesn't scream exciting.
I think, I think the argument here would be like if whatever actor they announce to play Doom would never be as exciting as Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that.
Who like I don't think there's anybody Marvel would have said, oh, this guy's playing Doctor Doom, and everyone's gonna be like, oh wow, that's crazy. I think when you see that pop off, everyone going crazy is because they know this is probably the most exciting thing that they could do. And I think the stories they're interesting because I was telling the guys
this is
earlier.
like a The Rock situation to me.
Who, sorry?
If I'm being honest, this feels like someone's like, you know what? The Rock's featuring in this movie, and you're like, oh, no way. Kevin Hart's in this next movie. Oh, no way. It's just like, to me, it's just like, to me, that's just how it feels. Like he's playing another character within the same like vicinity, and to me, it's just vicinity. Is it not?
No, it's a different universe.
It's a multiverse.
But like in my understanding,
BS, man. Whatever. Like I guess you guys. I mean, hey, if you guys love it, love it. But I'm just like, as a person from the outside looking in, because you guys already know how I feel about Marvel and stuff like that. From the outside looking in, that's not getting me. I'm already a person that's like, I didn't really care about the Iron Man movies as it was. Seeing Iron Man zipping up a different hoodie, I'm all set.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with Chief getting booty, Big Mad Mo. There's something wrong with Chief getting all emotional. That's the problem. All right. If he wants to get some and keep it moving, it's all cool. It's all cool. But we didn't come here to see Chief shedding tears, getting emotional about his trauma and all this other stuff.
Magneto.
We don't need that.
What happened if Hugh Jackman was the next Magneto in another universe?
That'd be fucked.
But you see, that's the thing though, because if you were to do that for Hugh Jackman, if you do that for any other character, no one's gonna be excited. But Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom kind of makes a good bit of sense. Like if you got Chris Hemsworth or whatever, like it just wouldn't work.
Why does Robert Downey Jr. make sense as Dr. Doom?
It's in the comics, Sam. It's in the comics, Sam.
So someone said this earlier a while ago, and I don't know if I necessarily agree. Sorry, go ahead.
It's in the comics, in the multiverse, in one of the multiverse universes that has been explored in the comic books. 20 years ago, there's a variation where Tony Stark is actually Doctor Doom.
Okay.
But in my understanding, this is not a variant. He's playing a brand new role as like he's not playing Tony Stark variant. He's playing Doctor Doom Von Doom
Yeah.
as Doom. So they literally cast him almost like they're casting a new
Yeah, but
actor.
that explains why we would have the face of Tony Stark on a Doctor Doom. That
Yeah.
answers that specific question of why is Tony Stark playing Doctor Doom. Do you understand?
Yeah, and with that, I'll go on ahead and concede. Because like I said, I don't know enough about this shit. So now that you're telling me,
I also
hey,
didn't know that this
Tony
could happen.
Stark, and now that you're saying,
Yeah.
hey, Tony Stark was a Doctor Doom in a different universe, now you're saying, okay, well, there is receipts for this.
Yeah.
I still don't love it. I still don't love it, but hey, if there's receipts, then who am I to say that you can't do it?
Yeah, so I specifically follow this one guy, Oshas.
Yep.
You would know this. I'm speaking to you, my African brother, because Taye is Irish. No matter what he tells us about this Nigerian rubbish, this guy is Irish. Probably doesn't even have like a Nigerian ID. This guy,
Yeah.
his birth certificate is probably in Irish. All right, is American. So whatever.
Yeah.
Oshas,
Sup.
you know that comic books for us. First off, you couldn't get every single issue for the series that you're interested in. And second, a lot of like 90% of our cities don't have comics. It was just Pretoria and Durban. That was it.
Yep. Facts.
There's no comic book stores.
And a lot of people didn't. You couldn't subscribe.
So one of the main guys that I follow, and I've followed religiously since the day YouTube started, is a guy called Comic Storian. Comic Storian for me,
I follow him too.
Me explore lots of like comic stuff because I care. I've loved comics forever. Essentially, this guy he lets you read comics for free. He voices each panel, He voices each panel from the setting to the character voices, and his pictures are crisp for each page of the comic book. And he does it for like every series from beginning to end. It's beautiful. So one of the things that he did when this thing was announced is that he actually went to specifically explore and show everyone that was subscribed to the channel that yes, this has actually happened in the comics. I was never a big Iron Man guy, but obviously he has access to, I don't know how he has all these comics, but he obviously has access to tons of comics. And yeah, this is actually comic book accurate. It's the truth.
Wow, the element went deep.
Yeah.
So what'd you say? Deep what?
Went deep.
The element.
The L went deep.
Element.
The element. Yeah. What he wrote right here was pretty.
Okay.
Pretty deep. Thing is, we need a Victor Von Doom. Victor Von Doom was basically a genius, evil war tyrant, money tycoon villain. They needed a new actor for Victor that replaces Fox's Doctor Doom. Yeah, that guy, the guy that played Victor Von Doom, wasn't great. That's all I'll say. And moving on, guys. Deadpool. Who here watched Deadpool?
I did not. I heard it was amazing, and I mean, it's funny because Deadpool is the last Marvel movie that I've seen in theaters, the original Deadpool. And I've just been seeing people ranting and raving, and I also like Hugh Jackman. I think Hugh Jackman's a good actor. So like that's the first that's the first Marvel movie I'm considering going to go see in theaters in a long time. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's a real good. Yeah, it's a real good movie. No, it's a good time. I think you're gonna laugh. If you know what Deadpool's all about, then this movie's gonna be perfect for you. In terms of story, I don't know. I don't think the story is particularly great or amazing. I think it does lack, that punch from like, let's say, a Logan or even some of the other Marvel films. But I don't think the movie's trying to, grab you in with its story. It's trying to grab you with the comedic elements. If you were to take away
nostalgia.
The nostalgia. Now,
And the
if you take away
cameo,
those, if you
bro,
take away those
the
cameos,
cameo.
but you see, if you take those away, do you have a good movie? I think it scores less, and I think
No, no,
it's
yeah,
not.
you don't.
It's not
You
like I
don't.
have an
It's not a
issue
great
with it
movie.
per se, but when you take away those cameos, the movie's not as good. Then it's still funny, but not as good. I think maybe that's the issue right there. But listen, it excels at what it's trying to do, and it's probably Marvel's best movie in a while, and that's just because it makes you
A
laugh a
long
lot.
time. In a
Yeah,
long time. Dude, it's not even because it makes you laugh. And this is the big issue with the MCU, right? Shout out to the Elemental Hero for bringing it up. The MCU. The problem with the MCU is that you rocked up to be entertained. Instead, you don't feel like you spent your money wisely.
hmm
At least that's how I left a lot of these MCU projects. With
yeah,
Captain Marvel, I was actually kind of like, oh, that was cool. And then after I let it settle like 1 or 2 days, I was like, that wasn't great. But then a couple of days later, I was like, okay, but it wasn't horrible. Because then people started going all in on the Marvels. And I don't think the Marvels was terrible. I
mm.
don't think it was terrible. I just think if I could take my money back, I probably would. But I don't feel like I got robbed. I don't feel like I got robbed. Oh, just don't laugh like that. I don't feel like I got robbed. I just feel like if I could take my money back, I would. As for Deadpool, I did watch it with my brothers, and yeah, man, a very, very good movie. I agree with you, Ty, that in terms of like narrative depth, there
Yeah.
isn't much there.
Hmm.
Those cameos,
They're good.
Oshes,
I was,
Ham.
I was gonna say real quick. Do you not feel like
Like
because
I
I
want
said
to
this to a
say,
few
but
people. I said this to a few people. I'm not too sure if they agreed with me. I feel like the idea of these multiverse situations and cameos, it's really good, but I wonder if it's gonna devalue it further when we get to the new Avengers film, because right now if I'm seeing Wolverine and Deadpool, I pretty much know everything's gonna happen. Plus with those cameos that we saw, like those are really like far reaching cameos. Like those are the ones that like it would have made almost sense to me for the final battle with whoever the new bad guy is, but you're doing them now. So who else can you show me that's gonna surprise me? There's no one.
yeah,
There's
oh my
absolutely no
God,
one.
Ty, can you imagine if that guy, you know which guy I'm talking about? You know who I'm talking about. Imagine.
There's so many guys.
Oh my,
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Sounds like there was a
like I
lot of
want to have
sheer
this conversation.
advertising within the movie itself.
They did have a little skit with a Honda Odyssey. That was hilarious. The skit with the Honda Odyssey was fucking just mwah. I never thought that they could make a Honda Odyssey funny, but yeah, it was good. It was good. Ham,
Sounds like a very
Cautious, please, can you
commercialized
guys go watch
movie, though.
that damn movie? Can you guys please go watch
Yeah,
that
yeah,
damn movie so
yeah.
we
No,
can talk about the cameos, please?
I'll probably see it Thursday. But if I've
Yeah,
already
please.
seen all the play, I've already seen all the spoilers. I don't
Hey,
get
hey, hey,
spoiled. I
hey.
don't care
Don't be
about
talking about
spoilers.
Ham. Don't
But
be spoiling it for the chat
no,
and
no, no,
for
I'm
Ham.
not gonna spoil. I'm not
Do you
gonna
not
spoil
think that,
anything.
that
But
because honestly, if I knew all those spoilers, I would have enjoyed it as much.
my brain doesn't work like that. Like one of
Yeah,
my favorite
yeah.
movies of all
I lost
time.
my mind. I lost
Yeah,
my mind
Same.
because I didn't see any spoil when I was watching it.
yeah.
I lost my freaking mind.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
man, I know.
insane.
I've
It
I
was
don't.
crazy. I'm thinking about it right now, and my mind is
Yeah.
exploding.
Yeah.
No,
It
I've
was
already had.
insane.
I know
The fact
everyone
that
that
the
you
fact that
guys.
they could
I know
keep
who
it,
you're talking about. You say that guy, but
Yeah.
like
and the fact that
it's like yeah,
that
it's
they
fun.
kept it quiet. Oh shit! The fact
Yeah,
that they kept it quiet until the
yeah.
release. Hats off.
Also,
Hats off
did you
to
know
whoever.
about that? Did you know about the leak? Did you know like who was going to appear in the cameos, like via
Yeah.
leaks and stuff like that? Oh, you already?
Well, I
I would
first saw
hate
the
that.
list. I first saw the
I would.
list. There were two lists that I saw,
Mm,
and the one didn't materialize because there was more X-Men,
mhm.
and that's not what ended up happening. But like the one that was all those people that did appear in the final
Okay.
movie.
Man, I would
And it's
hate that
great.
so much.
But it doesn't for me. It doesn't make a difference. I seek out that information, so it's not like someone ruined it for me. I
Okay.
went to look for the information. But I don't think it's like I knew how Endgame was gonna end, but I still went and I saw it and I was happy with it.
Mhm.
Oh,
I enjoyed it.
disgusting. Oh,
I knew
you
Cap was gonna
knew.
lift the hammer, but the moment was still great to experience in cinema because
Ew.
everyone lost their minds. I knew about
Flying
Andrew Garfield
disgusting. Oh,
and Toby
what's wrong with
Maguire,
you?
but it
Why
was
are
nice
you
to see.
doing?
What?
Why,
I don't get
why are
spoiled.
you going
Look, I think
without
I don't know. For me,
spoilers?
it just my brain doesn't like work like that. The experience is worthwhile. Going through the experience is what matters. If the experience is great, it's gonna be great, whether you knew who's on paper who was gonna appear or not.
Nah, man. I still remember watching Endgame with my wife and my
Yeah,
sons and everyone losing their shit
yeah.
when Cap had the hammer. Oh my god. And then when Tony says, I am Iron Man, then oh my god, dude. Oh
Yeah,
geez.
I have
Anyway,
I got a question for
anyway.
you guys. It's kind of on Fantastic Four. Um, I was saying earlier about how I'm tired of these origin stories. I don't care about these people anymore. Just let's get right into it. For the Fantastic Four film, do you envision an origin story, or do you think they're already going to be established and it's actually going to be Fantastic Four trying to escape who the new bad guy is, and they're gonna end up in maybe our universe and then start the whole thing again? Or do you think that's gonna be more of an Avengers introduction?
So I know the answer to that question, but
Okay, don't
it
answer that. Don't answer it.
Don't give us the
because
spoiler version. Shut up.
I'll give you a so
No.
it's tied directly to why Doctor Doom is Tony Stark.
Okay.
So and another hint is in the period that the Fantastic Four is taking place in. So if
Okay.
the Fantastic Four is going to be in the next Avengers movie, why are they in a different time period
Mhm.
to where the current thing is happening, like with the current
Okay.
616 universe? So it ties to that, but I don't want to go into details.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay. That's yeah. I'm hoping
So it is
to.
going to be an origin. Sorry to answer your question. It is going to be an origin story. It is, but it's going
It's
to be
called
yes.
First Step.
Yeah. So it's going to be very. I'm glad you actually brought up Fallout because it's thematically it's very Fallout like. It's going to be like in that period of time. Even with the costumes, you can see that they look very Fallout like.
Hmm.
And that's not a coincidence. And it's going to be an origin story, not just for the Fantastic Four, but the next sort of like leading up to those Avengers movie, Secret Wars, and introduce that corner of that universe.
Okay. Do you I don't know.
Inconsistency. Each director that made each movie, each writer that made each movie, they weren't trying to make a trilogy. They were trying to make their one special movie. And that's what fucked it all up. If you look at
Fan
all the
fiction.
other, if you look at the other two trilogies, they kind of were interdependent on each other. The Ray trilogy, they tried to make three different movies, and that was the problem.
Just one of those movies.
Which
Of
wasn't the
course, I
problem.
think
Which wasn't the
yeah,
problem.
but like yeah, it wasn't a
That was
problem.
not
So
a problem.
but he saw it as a problem. He saw it. He
No, 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 no,
identified
no, no, no. What I'm saying is that even if he saw it as a problem, him saying that we want more diverse people,
people that, to your point, wanted to do their own little unique vision, like the lady that made the Eternals, and a couple of other. Oh yeah, the lady that made She-Hulk, or the whole She-Hulk team was a bunch of people that didn't care about comics, that actually sort of didn't even like the people that read comics. So like he really pivoted like
surface of the story they want to tell. So they're making season 2, but it only scratches the surface. Gentlemen, let's start with Ham because Ham's been really quiet. Ham, one, are you looking forward to season 2 of the Fallout TV show? And two, do you think they deserve 16 Emmy nominations?
I think they do because they successfully.
Too.
Absolutely. It's the best gaming TV show I've ever seen.
Ever.
And ever. Like I can't think of anything else that comes close in terms of video game adaptations.
Female
Um,
protagonist.
Female protagonist
Everyone
and a
take it.
black male protagonist. Wow, imagine that. And it worked.
No,
The
no, that guy's
writing
not a protagonist. Stop lying. Cut the
and
cap. Cut the
the
cap.
writing is
It works
immaculate.
because it's an RPG and there's not like a history behind, oh, this character was white. It's like, no, that is just
Yeah.
a character
Just
that
random
anybody
guy
could have
trying to
made,
survive.
right?
So I they made her
Mhm.
black, and then Pedro Pascal is what, South American,
South America.
and then the guy is a
The brother is
Texan,
black as well.
yeah, in thing, in so they changed a lot of that stuff, and
Oh
it's still
my
got
god. Oceans. Now I'm the one who's about to fight with you. Dorian Gray just brought up one of my favorite.
The Game Awards, to see, who, takes the award and all that stuff. Well done, well made. I think the point. Yeah, I think even like The Witcher, for example, right? And I've probably given that example before. Like the books did well, but the games are very, very, very different from the books, just by default.
Agree a little bit with Locust. Like they still stuck to the subject matter that was Ellie and God, why am I
Joel.
forgetting his name? Yeah, Ellie and Joel.
Joel.
Compared to
Just a
what
baseball guy.
what you're talking about with Henry Cavill, and like what we've previously talked about with Halo, is where it's like it's a little bit of Chief, but it's always just a little bit of Chief. And it's annoying that it's a little bit Chief because that's the reason we came.
Oh my god. Anyways, so yeah, much success to the people making a Fallout series. May you continue to not only expand this universe, but also respect the lore that even made it relevant in the first place. Much love to all of you guys and good luck. Hope you win some
I'm just
Emmys.
saying this back to Vic. If you went to a Bulls game in the mid 90s and you didn't see Jordan, how would you feel?
That would piss me off. That would piss me off.
like I know they're not called the Chicago Jordans. I get that.
I would
But
be
would you
pissed.
feel some type of way to not see
Dude,
the person
remember
of the generation on the court?
Ham, remember when Tracy McGrady was going blow for blow with Kobe when he was playing for the Magic?
Yeah,
I would be
I remember a lot of
pissed
people
if
thought
I had gone to
Tracy was going to be better than Kobe.
yeah, I would be pissed if I had showed up to one of those Magic games and T-Mac wasn't playing. I'd be touched. So the point is definitely taken. The point is definitely taken. Anyways, gentlemen, once again, I celebrate I'm not gonna lie, I celebrate internally every time we set a podcast. Oh yeah, it's gonna be 2 hours, and then we always go like 30, 40 minutes over. I love it because for me, it's a sign that we're having a blast.
Can I show something on the screen real quick and just get your guys'
Go ahead.
reaction to it?
Go ahead. Before we go,
go
ahead.
I thought this was like wild, but like pretty terrible at the same time, I guess. Let me throw this up. So do you see that?
Canceled, why don't you? Yeah, stretch it out.
So we'll first read. It says Quavo allegedly took $300,000 deposit from Vitali, but didn't show up for the stream. So Quavo is not coming. He took our deposit. Of course, black people things. And you see the black guy right there, right?
So Quavo is not coming. He's not. He's not coming. He took our deposit, right? Yep, of course. Black people thing, but
yeah.
What?
So I mean, he said that. I'm sure Quavo is not mad he didn't make that show after hearing that. What do you guys kind of think about this whole situation?
Several things.
And then, I mean,
I have several things to say about this. First off, this guy, the black dude that didn't react.
Before you go, let me just go ahead and throw this out there. Do Because I got a question to throw out there that I want you to answer, including what you're currently saying right now. Do you think that how relevant do you think that it is that these streamers, creators, people behind the camera, or people that control these cameras and stuff like that feel the need to use, black names and stuff like that until something doesn't happen right, and then dang near, calling them out of their name, or
I want
calling
to.
a whole race a problem due to one shortcoming from somebody that pretty much makes raps about not giving a F.
I'll push back on that. First off, I don't know these guys, but from their demeanors, right? I would say that if Quavo was a Jewish guy, they'd probably be like Jewish things. If Quavo was an outwardly Muslim guy, I'm pretty sure this guy would probably say Muslim things. If Quavo was a white guy from Texas, he'd be like redneck things. You know what I mean? Because these guys, I don't know this guy, right? But from the little 20 seconds that I see here, what I can glean from this is that these are like reactionary people that are used to not saying things with substance, but saying things that are catchy. Not saying things that will get you views, saying things that will get you like pissed off or whatever. So
That'll
I
get him in this
assume
situation
that
right here to where he's on podcasts is being talked about it.
Exactly. And then people are looking into who he is, and then subscribing to his channel so they can watch his next podcast, so he can expurgate on whatever happened here. That's the first thing. So my first reaction from this is not that this guy is racist. That's not my first reaction. My first reaction from this is that he threw money at someone, lots of money. 300K is a lot of cash. They didn't come through, and now he has to make content with that. And
That's a really good point, actually. I didn't even think about that.
Closest. Yeah, that's the closest he
point,
can get to. He's trying to monetize as much as he can that 300,000 that he just got hustled.
You're right. If he didn't say this, we wouldn't be talking about it. So you're right. He's making money from. He's making the best out of the situation. Yeah, I actually don't have anything else to say. You kind of just said the best point. So
well, let me ask you this, and maybe you will have something to say on this one, Ty. Do you think that it was worth him saying this and dealing with the blowback of possibly being looked at as,
yes,
a racist or whatnot, versus not saying anything at all?
Yeah, I know a bit about Vitali, and he's a bit controversial. He says things, he's done rehab, he's done all these things back and forth. So someone like him saying this, especially when he didn't use the N word, it's gonna pass. It's gonna fly. Like it's not.
You said he's used the N word.
No, I think he might have used it before in the past controversy, but in this case, no. I don't think this is gonna hurt him at all. Worst case scenario, he's gonna apology. Go viral. I think his fans, people who watch his stuff, they watch his stuff for stupid shit anyway. So sorry for cursing. They watch his stuff for stupid things, so it's not really gonna do much.
You're good.
Fresh and Fit, Myron, he's there as well. He's big, and he's not gonna stop hanging out with Vitali because of this. But your question, was it worth it? I think so, probably. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he gets hurt from this that bad. I think he's okay. I think he's been around for a long time. One of these YouTubers who's been in many controversies. I think he talked about like even when he hit rock bottom and he was gonna kill himself or something at some point. But his hair now is back again. And the comment, I think if he said the N word, I think it's more controversial.
Yeah,
way more controversial.
For sure. 100%, I agree.
He stereotyped a group of people, but I think as Locke was saying, he probably would have said the same thing about other groups as well. Probably.
All right, look,
white
you think
guy
it's
from
straightforward
Sicily,
as what Ty said?
like Italian things. Sorry?
So you think it's as straightforward as what Ty said? Like it's nothing burger?
Simple. It's engagement farming, bro. It's not just console warriors that do engagement farming.
Yeah.
Everyone does it, bro.
This guy's been
Everyone
on
does it.
YouTube for a very long time, so he knows all about it. He knows exactly what to say.
Yeah. We
You
just
know,
need to
and
like identify it and farm ourselves, Ham. Like even you posting it here, this is us farming it as well.
That's
yeah,
Just need
listen,
to acknowledge it.
I'm not happy with what
I
he
don't think
said.
it's malicious.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
happy with
think
what he
it's
said, but
malicious.
like, man, if I lost 300K, I don't know what the hell I'll be saying as well, man. That's you don't take 300K from me. Like I'm cursing your whole family, your lineage. Everyone's getting it.
And
Like 300K is a lot of freaking money,
oh
man.
that's a
yeah,
lot
the
of
whole
bread,
Mr.
bro.
Beast thing. Ham, I'm gonna send you some links about the whole Mr. Beast thing, and then you can tell me if you feel comfortable talking about it next week.
Just
If
throw
not,
it
I
up. I
can.
don't care. Just throw it up. I don't care.
You sure?
Oh, I'm 100% sure.
I gotta bounce though, guys.
Yo.
So I'll let you guys get
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
we'll do it. No, we'll do it next week. We'll do it next week. It's late anyway. I need to go to
Yeah, that's
bed.
fine. I like that idea because I don't think
All right, so
15 minutes is good enough.
yeah, no, it's not. It's really not. Dorian, we will be covering the Mr. Beast thing next week. It's it's disgusting.
Dude,
It is.
dude, I went over it a little bit last Thursday on this channel, just a little bit. Dude, it's bad. It's
It is.
like that dude. He it almost seemed like the kid was trying to save him, and he's just like, nah, man, I don't need no saving.
Oh my god.
I'm good. I'm with
Anyways.
Mr. B.
Oh my god. Tai, please plug your stuff before you go. Oh, and also, thank you, Oshis, for coming through. Oshis had to drop out before plugging your stuff. But yeah, Tai, plug your stuff before we go.
You guys can find me at Taye Talks, TAYETALKS, where I just talk about RPG games, Mass Effect, Starfield. And I think my next video might be a Mass Effect video, but I'm also looking to make a versus video with Geralt of Rivia versus
Yes,
Cal
yes.
from Jedi Survivor.
All right. Thank you so much for coming through, Tai.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
you.
me.
Hamothy, do you want to plug anything before we go?
Yeah, just here to tell everybody, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Share this thing out. Any kind of support
Please.
goes a long way. We appreciate all the people that stuck around.
The super
And
chats.
whatnot. So yeah, please continue to support. We'll be sure to see you guys here on Wednesday to talk much more about gaming. We happen to talk about a lot of gaming today on everything but gaming, but you know, shit happens, and it is still a fun show. So I'm happy that I got to make it back before the show ended. But anyways, look, that's all I really have to say. I'll be happy to see everybody back on Wednesday.
All right. Thank you to everyone for coming through. Thank you for the super chats, the comments. The comment section was jumping today. You guys were very interested in the whole comic book thing, movies, etc. Thank you. We will be continuing to do everything but gaming on Mondays, but it's not restrictive. All right. So if gaming does fall into whatever it is that we're discussing, we're not going to shy away from it. We will delve into gaming, but it's called everything but gaming because the topics are not gaming themselves. So if we fall into gaming, it's a happy result. But more times than not, we will not be focusing on gaming. But yeah, thank you guys for coming through. Wednesday, we're doing the lowdown, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central African time. Fridays, as always, we're doing bull sitting, 4 p.m. Eastern, 2200 hours Central African time with me, Ham, Cozy, Matt, Mental Nina, and one or two guests if they do show up. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on Wednesday. And we're out.